But we all
Sue,
have patience with wood turners. We can wait for wood to dry.
Right.
Sue, things would be rough down by you. I see where the strip club closed.
That's funny.
how are your fingers?
Good news, guys. Full movement of my fingers.
Good.
No tendon damage. It's just that the things look a little ugly. And I saw an orthopedic this week, and he said, Sue, he goes, I can fix that for you. We can open it up and clean it out and re-sew it. I said, nah, that's all right. He goes to me, he goes, well, what are you going to do with the scar? I said, when I'm not woodworking, I'll put on a ring. He said, and what if the ring's not big enough? I said, then this girl gets more bling. What can we say?
Nice.
But he was so interested in our meeting, he wrote everything down, and he may join us tonight.
Oh, wow.
Great. All right, good. Hey, some of us overlook this thing, we shouldn't. But a hand injury, we're all in advanced age. I love that term. But a hand injury can be crippling right now. You don't go back together like you used to. And I used to, if you beat on something, hit on the side of the TV. I don't hit anything anymore like that because the potential for tearing something, bruising something, pissing something off. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I had a health coach meeting this morning, and great lady does it with us. And she has a big wall or a big chart on the wall, and they got packages of food, and it shows you how much sugar and stuff is in each one, and all this. And she says, "How you make it out?" I said, "I've just discovered one thing. See all this stuff on that wall? Yes, I can have none of it." She goes, "Really? You discovered that?" I said, "You told me about it for the last year and a half, but now I believe you." But we got to talking about natural remedies for soreness and things like that, and diuretics. And I mean, I could sit and chat with this lady for hours and hours and hours. But first thing she said when I got up, she said, "Count to 5." I said, "Why?" She says, "Now I hate this. At your age, you need to give your body a second to adjust." Man, that's hard. Just hard. It might be true, but it's just hard.
I went to my cardiologist and he told me he bought a lathe. So I said, what are you making? He said, just little stuff because I'm afraid. He said, I'm a heart surgeon and I'm afraid of my hands. Said,
Yeah.
Just be
The
careful.
little stuff that bites you.
Exactly.
I have
Yeah.
to tell you, I was in commercial sheet metal, and you can hold a piece of sheet metal if you grab it tightly, but if it slides through your hand, it just opens you up. Unreal. And it's a strange story because we were doing a big job in Cleveland Clinic, right in main clinic, Cleveland Clinic. And this kid cut himself pretty bad, apprentice. He put a piece of duct tape around it, went home. And the next day he came in and he had this duct tape around it. And he said his doctor was busy. He was going to go that night. And he came in the next day and he hadn't gone again. He had duct tape around it. And I said, hey, that's getting bad. I mean, it's swelling up. And there was a doctor walking down the hall and he looked at him. I says, hey, could you look at this guy's hand? He looked at the guy's hand for like 3 seconds and said, you got to get this taken care of or you are going to die. You're not going to lose a hand. You are going to die. So all of a sudden this became serious. And he went to the hospital. We got him to the hospital. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital. He almost lost a hand. But and he spent another 2 or 3 weeks out after that being sewed up. But I'll tell you, if you get blood poisoning or whatever it is, you don't just get loss of a hand, you can die. I learned my lesson of that one.
Yeah. A lot of us, I've done paper towel and duct tape in the shop, for a minor wound or whatever.
Yeah.
And and we all have these things to get around. Our natural instinct is when you get around the hazard. If you really should wear gloves when you handle that stuff. Oh, I'm tough. I don't need gloves. If you should wear a shield, that ain't gonna hurt. We saw what happened last week with Scott. I mean, it fractured the face shield of one of the best bionic type masks that we all use. So things can be tough. I saw a commercial on TV, not a commercial, a news report on TV a few minutes ago, and they're talking about Habitat for Humanity. And these women in construction, WIC, were hosting a workshop this weekend to build a little mini house or something like this. And they showed this gal with a chop saw. You know what a chop saw is, right? She's on the ground on her knees with a chop saw. She is ready to make the cut, and she goes, it comes back.
That hurt just thinking about it.
Does God know you looked away so he won't do anything to your eyes, your fingers, your face, and all that? And number two, why on the ground? That's got to be, if I can go to the ground, I need people to get me back up. But I mean, it's just not the way to go. So, but folks see that and think, well, it's okay. She looked away. It's okay. They got tough hands. I can jump off that porch. It's all right. Yeah, when you were 4 or 5 years old, that makes sense. But you multiply the 4 or 5 by double-digit numbers, and then you're talking about real old.
The ground is further down than it used to be.
Yeah. And it's harder.
You got it.
Yeah, I watch these cop shows, and if police officer tells a guy to get on the ground, I would just tell him, you might as well shoot me because there's no way I can get back up.
I can get down there, but getting back up is a problem.
You're not kidding.
Oh,
I love it at the clinic when they'll ask you, do you have any trouble falling? Nah, no trouble falling. It's getting my ass back up. That's a problem. Yeah. And they all want, well, why did you do that? I said, no, it's, parts don't work like they used to. I'll get used to it. It'll be all right. I've learned not to put my hands out. Don't try to grab anything. Just tuck and roll. And I get less damage that way. It's when you get all bravo and stick this out or grab that or whatever that you tear other parts up. It's I love to mess with those medical people a little bit when I go in. Just a little bit, because you've messed too much, they'll mess with you. I see my one of the regular people tomorrow because I've lost in the last year I've lost 62 pounds.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And tomorrow, thank you. And tomorrow we have to talk about what medication I don't need. Because I'm probably over drugged by what they gave me to keep me rolling and going. And we told that to the doctor, and she says, "You've lost that much weight, and nobody's made adjustments."
Yeah,
I
right.
said, "Nobody's made adjustments," and well, that's the system. So we're in pretty good medical system here, and we just put a broadcast out to all my doctors, and I think she's got all the answers tomorrow. But you get accustomed to what they tell you will fix it. It's not fixing it sometimes, it's just hiding it. And you can't hide a dragon, it's always there. So hey, in a little while we'll talk. We got a lot of things coming up. It's right o'clock, the top of the hour here, Central Time. Your time too. But we have got a proposal for club stickers. Yeah, we do. We've worked it out. Dane and I have been back and forth a few times. I sent some, not board members, but key members that helped us put this thing together in the past and asked them what their opinions were on this deal. I think we have it worked out. It might not make everybody happy, but it's down the road towards it. And I think it's a very fair deal. So we'll talk more about that later on this evening. And stick around, because live and direct, we're going to go to Ohio. Is he in Detroit, Ohio? I don't know, where is Matt Mabry at? But that's where we're gonna go tonight.
No,
And
we're
we're
going
gonna
to
see
Texas.
Matt demonstrate. Where?
We're going to Texas unless, well, hold on a minute. Bob, are you having issues with your internet?
Yeah, I am. It keeps going in and out here, so I don't know what I'm gonna be able to show.
Well, you know
Why
what?
I gotta,
I think I can hornswoggle Matt Harber to do demo tonight then.
I saw it on Facebook today that he said
Yeah.
that, hey, join
Yeah,
us
yeah.
tonight. I'll be doing something on the Joyner jig.
Yeah, he had his date wrong, but we may still be doing Matt tonight. So
Oh, okay.
is he on yet?
All right.
I don't
Let
see.
I
me,
hadn't seen it yet.
he's not here. Let me text him here.
Okay, because some folks say it's a silly little project. No, it's not. And Easter's right around right around the corner over there is Easter. And you want to have some nice little trinkets to give the kids. Don't give them eggs. Make something for them. You're going to see some, I know, Matt, you're going to see some outstanding little things that you can do. And everybody can do it. And oh yeah, if you can't afford a Joyner jig, don't worry about it. You can figure it out on your own. I think. Let's jump back to Jim Duxbury Incorporated. Jim Duxbury has got that we've seen it elliptical. Well, I can't remember how you describe it. It's elliptical offset jig. Yes, that'll fit in your chuck and help you out. You can use that with a scrap of duct tape, and those things come off really quick. And it's fun to do because, trust me, no two come out alike. And just be ready to make more. If you make one for one grandchild or one niece or one nephew, you better have some spares, because everybody will include mom and dad. And it's a fun little project. That's what we do. Somebody asked me this morning, do I still fool around in my workshop? And I can't right now, but I said, you know what? You'll be the first person to make something for, because you've shown some interest. So we're going to get the lathe crank back up again. And I like to make my 12-cent ink pens out of any kind of wood I can get my hands on, from 2x4 to blackwood to burls, anything. If I can get a stick of wood, I can cut it up and make these 12-cent ink pens. And they're just a hit. But now I throw another dime on the table, because I'll take them back to the laser engraver and put their name on it. So you just personalize the gift. And it might stay on their desk a little bit longer if it's got their name on it. Whoa. I see a new woman in the house. Ann Molina.
Yes, that's me.
Hey, Ann, we don't have your video up.
No.
Oh,
I'm a friend of Bob Grinstead. He is in the same club, or I'm in the same club as him. And that's how I found out about these meetings.
Well, Ann, welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Can't wait to
We
see
lo-
your work.
Okay, well, thanks.
You're hearing a lot of the boy, you don't want to say this, old regulars, but
We'll put
yeah,
OLE regulars.
old regular. I knew I had it spelled wrong. But we have like 55 folks and 58 folks in a meeting right now, and we're looking to always improve that. Thank you, Ann, for joining us. Tell your other club members they can join. The price is fair, and we will never, ever, ever degrade your work. We'll never say that's nice, but remember, we have a no but guarantee.
Okay.
And I'm very, very thankful for that. All right. I'm short on photographs this week, Turners. Yeah, we've had about 10 or 12 go to our Facebook page this week, and that's one. Digress. I'm picking up all the photographs I'm using for the promos in the newsletter off of Facebook. When I was receiving my email, I wasn't getting a high enough quality photograph to use in some cases. Probably the T-Mobile thing I have. But I can grab them off Facebook on another system I have, and they're really sharp and beautiful. But I'm trying to put a promo together this week, and I need some photographs. So, hey, take a few pictures, post them on our Facebook channel, and remember the deal. We can't say but. It's all beautiful. It's all your work. It's from the heart. And we'd like to get it out there. The promo brings us a few more members each time because folks say, oh, can I do that? Yes. We're not just going to show you the toy. We're going to show you how to build the toy. And that's what I want to do. So send it on in. On the calendar, I think it's June 3rd is AAW in Louisville. Last time I went to Louisville for that AAW, it was at a hotel that wasn't way up. It was downtown and maybe, had some historic value, but I was there 4 nights, and all 4 nights we had a burglar alarm at 1 or 2 o'clock, fire alarm at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and you had to leave the hotel. Might miss money goofing around, but it was a great AAW symposium, though. And then after that, at least there might be something else. We have SWAT coming up the last full weekend of August. That's in Waco, Texas. Personal opinion, finest symposium in the world. But they're booking that up right now. So if you want to get a decent hotel room, you have to book early to get the worldwide SWAT discount. Get the SWAT discount at the Hilton, or there's another hotel that's linked to it. So if you want to book in early, you can do so. That's gonna be a great time. I'm hoping I can get there this year. I'm gonna bring the cards, the stickers, goofy looking shirt, whatever I can to meet folks that I've known for years. I mean, I've known most of you folks from Waco, and get back there and talk about it. It's like being out on the tailgate. You stand around, tell lies. You're better than everybody else. You know the deal. So it's a fun time. Really do like it. And Dane tells us that Matt will do the demo tonight. Tim Hatch reminds us that SWAT is 25, 26, and 27th. The 26th, I would be out of the Air Force 52 years. Wow. Had me looking really good. I'm looking at the chat here. Randy Smith has just finished, saw some chicken nuggets with Louisiana crystal sauce. That's the way to go, Andy. That's the way to go. The Cane's fried chicken, Cane's chicken, what is fried? They have a sauce. It's sort of like the Popeye special sauce thing, where they have a slightly spicy sauce to go along with the chicken. I saw a recipe today, how to put some punch in with Tabasco. Boy, I tell you what, you want to put punch in it, you put that Tabasco in it. It's got holding power. It does. If you haven't checked it out, our website's up and cooking, really. And we have a barter page. Now, say you want to, you have a tool you don't use, and you like to have a tool you would like to use. We all own those shoes, right? Okay. I have a 5/8 inch bowl gouge that I bought from AAW years ago, some specialized material and all. I have absolutely no need for a 5/8 inch bowl gouge. I bought it because it was let's get this and get this done. I prefer to use my 3/8 and just make it work. So I want to trade that bowl gouge with the elliptical grind on it and everything for, I don't know, what you got? What do you want that? Would you like to have it? What can you offer me for it? That's what the barter page does. Don't put it here. That's what the barter page does. Now, my gouge is where I can't reach it outside right now, but Tommy's taking care of moving things, so I can do that. But when I get it, I'm going to post it with just that. What do you have? This is a $300 gouge. What do you have? If it ain't worth $300, I got took. But I think I have a 3/8 and a 5/8. The 3/8 I do like. But I really do better. It's a signature tool from AAW for some reason. Remember who made them, but I really love my 3/8 elliptical grind from D-Way Tools. I have 4 of them in the shop, 4 sleeves, because I wore out one a long time ago and said, this ain't going to happen again, because they're beautiful and I can cut all day long with them. Doug in New Hampshire said he's got an update regarding his thread problem he mentioned last. Doug, tell me more.
I spoke last week, just after you went off, Ed. I was having problems with the threads on my spindle. So Trey mentioned using Prussian blue, which I did, but I didn't get a real definite indication. So I went and ordered tap and die, and I used the die on the spindle. And that was interesting because I believe the spindle was chrome plated. So running a die down on chrome plated steel was interesting, to say the least. It took about a 16th return, you had to back up. Take another 16th return, back off, with lots of thread cutting work. But I did finally get it all the way, the die run all the way down. My problem is solved, and all of my chucks, etc., faceplates are going on smooth as silk. And so I appreciate everybody's input from last week.
Great. That's what
Outstanding.
we're here for. You know that's what we do. And I was still listening. I just had my wife comes in from teaching school at that time, and I'm going to be a dutiful husband, you know?
Absolutely. Well, I put the Prussian blue on and tried to thread several of my chucks and faceplates on, and they would not go on far enough for me to see some sort of discernible problem. And they were about halfway on, and they were just running right up tight. So I didn't want to keep forcing the issue. So, and I went to Dies and Cutters out of Long Island, New York. And I ordered them on a Friday afternoon, and I had them on a Monday afternoon over the weekend. So that's great service.
It is.
Another problem solved right here on Worldwide Wood Turners.
You got
Wow.
that right, Brenda.
Woo!
What was the name of the company, Doug? Dies and what?
Dies and Cutters.
Now, would you, sir, kind of throw that in our chat tonight? Because the chat will, the chat will be available online for us for forever. So if you in 6 months you can't remember where you heard it from, you can go there and look it up.
Eddie, the magic thing on this whole thing is the Persian blue. It's a special dye that doesn't dry, that you can put on a surface, and it'll give you and it'll transfer if you have good contact. If you don't have good contact, it'll show it. So on your, even Morse tapers or any threads or whatever, it'll show you where you're not making good thread contact or whether it's, excessive. So.
Yeah, it's a good product. I've used it. I understand it. I had a machinist I taught a while back, and he came in and he had his little mini lathe that he brought over for lessons, and he started to screw a faceplate on it. I said, "Where'd you get that faceplate?" And he says, "Oh, I found them online. It's such and such, And I said, "But it's really not made well." I said, "When you put it on there, isn't it a little face warp?" "Yeah, but that'll straighten out." And I said, "But isn't it a little slippery?" "Yeah." I said, "And you're a machinist. A must go with A, and B must go with B. And whoever made your lathe has got their own, no matter what they say, their own threading and their own rigs, their own jigs, their own dies, their own taps. And there will be a very slight difference from one to the other, especially if you find a discount, a real deal. Might not be a deal. You may be trying honest to goodness trash. And that will do the harm that Doug was just talking about. All it takes is one jump thread. and then you bear down on it. And most of the time, the mender will give a little bitty bit before the faceplate will, and that will screw you up. Same thing like using those washers to keep from making hard contact, but you can't get them off.
I think what happened with mine was I think I had a grub screw screwed in a little tighter than I realized. And when I either threaded on or threaded off one of my devices, I think I buggered the threads, and I think it just took running a die across it to fix it.
Yeah, it's what long. There was a thread file. I was rebuilding a Harley, and we're trying to straighten out some threads on something, and my dad said, "Go get a thread file and get these sizes," and they came in 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. You know, it was 8-sided, 8 ends, and I got one for standard, one for metric, and I had them for years where I'd use them because all the time you'd run when you put a bolt in something, you hit it or whatever, or you bruise it, crush threads, get the thread die out and thread file out and just stress them back off. You didn't have to have that size die to rework the male threads.
Now I looked
Nifty
at,
thing.
I'm sorry, Ed, go ahead.
No, nifty thing, but today in the world we've built, there are not a lot of brick and mortar places to find those kinds of things. This was down the alley and around the corner behind a paint store. This guy had all the machining stuff.
Well,
Best places.
I
Yeah.
looked for a thread file at 8 TPI. And there was only one place I could find it. And the only one where I could find there was an 8 TPI thread file. You had to buy like a set of 4 or 5 different thread files in a package. It was like $100, as opposed to buying. Everybody else had the 7s, 9s, you know, all the way up through, but 8 was very unusual. So I think I actually, it only cost me like $26, $27 for the die to fix the tab. I fixed the threads.
And they don't go bad.
That's right.
You know, it's like you don't use them, they'll go sour. Yeah, but I remember this was a rather old Harley, and I was poor. And so anytime we could rework stuff, I learned how to do helicoils in the shop at home. Because Dad said, "Hey, if he can do it, you can do it." And that was it. I rode that bike for 134,000 miles after we rebuilt it.
I
used
saw
to-
just over the weekend, I was up at Lowe's. They have a set there for thread fixer, I guess they call it, or something like that. But it's for a rotary tool, like, you know, like a Dremel tool or something.
Yes,
Piece that goes in there that you can use to chase the threads.
right. And it's like a, it's got a diamond edge to it, to the side of it, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I saw that. And I was concerned about my being accurate enough to not mess up the files, the threads. And I was more confident running a die down over it.
Oh,
And then I would have a
me
nice
too.
consistent. Yeah,
When I saw that, I had the same thought went through my head. It's like, okay, you're manually running this. What's the
exactly.
chance of you crossing it over a thread wrong?
Yeah.
So-
And I have hand tremors and arthritis. So keeping that nice and in there, I wasn't confident I was going to be able to do that. So,
Well, I have some of the second and a tiny bit of the first. So yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, no fun.
Yeah, and you know, if you save a buck, do you save a buck?
No.
You know, if you damage that spindle and replace it, you know, whew, I don't want to pay the freight. But that's the deal. You know, don't go bargain basement. The basement might be not the place to be. We have a couple of galleries popping in tonight. Dane Chandler handles that for us, folks. If you got something to show, and that's why I'm saying it, because I see a couple of folks have popped in with some gallery items tonight. Just put it in the chat. Say I have something to show. Dane will introduce you. Immediately after he starts introducing you, start speaking, because at that time the image we see will change, and it's easier for Dane to find you, because there are 68 people out there right now, and if he has to look at all that stuff with no alerts, he'll go cross-eyed before the night's over. So we'll do a little gallery if you have somebody available, Dane.
Yeah, we do. Let's go with Brenda here. She made a ball.
Look at the smile. Look at the smile. Look, that was instant.
Look what I did today. You see
Wow.
that? I got a nice shine on the outside, and I added some glitter. I put, this is a piece of cherry. I actually went to my, what I thought was my mulberry pile and pulled this out. When I cut it open, I'm like, yeah, that ain't mulberry. So
Yeah, that looks nice.
cherry, made me a little bowl. Put
Beautiful wood.
polyurethane on the outside. I added some glitter because I wanted some shine. I never did the inside, but it's
Really nice job.
Nice.
yeah.
No lines, no grooves, no blemishes. That is a nice piece.
Today's my,
That is
my BFF's birthday, so I gave it to her for her birthday.
Looks
Nice.
good, Brenda. Pretty.
Very nice, Brent.
And also, while I was sanding the inside of it, can you see my thumb? My thumb,
Uh-oh.
a little scratch,
Not supposed to do that.
just a little one. Caught the
Yeah,
edge.
Sue, get her some Band-Aids, Sue.
I know, I got a whole box in the mail today.
There you go.
Okay, Brenda, how many different characters do we have in all that grain there? I haven't heard
Well,
you
I see.
speak.
You see the snake? There's a snake head in the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Snake right there. Before that, it was a bird before that. I seen a little heart somewhere. Maybe it's over there.
You know y'all scaring away new members. You know that, right?
Yeah. There's an alien.
Nice piece of wood.
Yeah, it was.
Beautiful piece of wood.
gorgeous figure in it.
This piece.
A very nice finish on it, Brenda. Very nice.
Let's see, where's it at? Oh, this piece here, I had to glue this piece back in there. It all cracked on me. But
So what did you say the finish on the inside was?
on the inside is Parfex,
Okay,
but on the outside I put polyurethane.
looks nice, looks very nice.
3 coats of polyurethane on the outside of it. And I left this, indented or whatever.
Yeah, it just adds the character.
Yeah. And the one on the other side. Where's it at? Yeah, that one.
I love that knot with all the striations going out of it.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's like a
Yeah.
butterfly.
A butterfly.
It looks like the head and the wings all around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did this week.
All right, Brenda.
Right on.
Folks, if you're new to the club, Brenda has been around with us for a long time, and this is Band-Aids Brenda. And because in the early days,
Yeah.
she can only say, "Look, I did pretty good this week. Only 3 Band-Aids."
Yeah. It was seriously that bad. Yes.
And after we heard about Sue's incident with her fingers last week, I joked with her and said, "I got a big case of Band-Aids coming your way. No offense." Apparently, somebody else is thinking my way. Send her some Band-Aids. So,
Send it my way. Band-Aids are expensive.
Yes. Yes, they are.
just so you know, we're a bunch of old friends sitting on a tailgate telling stories, and it's so nice
Yeah.
to do this.
Right.
If you get
So
a
speaking of
nickname,
stories-
then you've been
Huh?
here enough. You're one of
Yeah,
the.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's go see Charlie and see what kind of story he's got for us tonight.
Yes, sir. You want a story?
Well, every piece comes with one.
Well,
Yours are
before
more entertaining than
Worldwide
most, Charlie.
Woodturners was created, I was surfing the internet looking at pictures of stuff that was for sale woodturners made. Now that Worldwide Woodturners, I happened to run across my picture that I took off of the internet. And I said, I'm gonna make that.
Oh, very nice.
And the guy whose picture I stole is a member of Worldwide Woodturners.
Yeah, but he speaks English. Very
Yeah,
distinctly.
real English. I'd like
He's
to
in
know-
the pack tonight.
cutouts that he puts in those. I can't find them anywhere.
Yep, Army, a proper job. Well done. Well done, Charlie. Nice job.
This took me all week to make. Everything has to be precise.
It's
It's perfectly.
Yeah, do it again, Charlie. It gets easier and easier. I normally do about 10, 11 a day.
But thank you for the inspiration.
No problem at all. Yeah, good job.
I sent a picture of this to you, Captain. I don't know.
Oh,
if you
I have
got
it, Charlie. Yes, sir, I do have it. It'll be in the next newsletter and promo.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I got this week.
Thank you,
All right,
Charlie.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Howard here. I think Howard's got a gnome.
Howard.
Hey, Howard.
Hey. Can you see me now?
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I made my twin brother.
Why is he wobbling?
Yeah, and why
It's
has
a
he got a red
bobblehead.
nose? He's got a
It's a
drinking
bobblehead.
problem?
It's a bobblehead.
Bobblehead, no.
Oh,
It's
there
a-
we go. Put a spring on
It's
it.
it's a bobblehead. Bobblehead.
Now, what'd you
Bob.
use for a spring?
I used number 12 electrical copper wire.
That worked out
You know,
nice.
That works.
But it works. So,
It does.
You just
That's so
form it
cute.
into a coil?
he's little, pardon?
You just form the wire into a coil and put it under there?
I got to hold it with some pliers, and just start twisting around it. In fact, needle nose pliers. What I had started real small,
Spring.
and where I was holding the wire, that was big enough for put a screw up in here.
Okay.
And then I kept wiping it. Then I opened it up into a spring, and then I put a loop on the end and to screw it down.
All right.
Does
Very
that make
nice.
sense?
I
Does
like-
that
I
make
like that
sense?
idea. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I might have to try that.
Yeah.
I
So
might have to swipe that idea.
yeah. Okay. Hey, fine. I don't care.
Thinking the same thing.
Solid wire
That looks
around
great.
here.
And I got a bow. I made a bow here. And so
Oh
it,
my God.
it holds air. So
Yeah.
it does a pretty good job holding air. And
Oh
so
my God.
especially hot air,
I was thinking your soup was going to leak pretty badly out of that if you tried it.
yeah.
Oh my
believe.
goodness.
Beautiful.
So
Wow.
Man,
I
don't
left-
give that to
left the-
Doug Rowe. He'd fill it with epoxy.
This is ash, and I dyed it black, and to add some weight to it because it's pretty light, and I left the base on there to hold it down. I was afraid it might float off, Come back here, But anyway,
There you go.
that's
Boy.
about all I got.
That
Very
is
pretty.
Oh,
awesome.
and that's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Right on, Howard.
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
Dane, can I just dive in and ask Howard? Howard,
Jump in there.
Yes.
what beautiful pieces. I absolutely love that ball that you've done there. The reason why I've dived in, just going back to the gnome that you've done,
The gnome.
the gnome that you've done,
Oh yes.
what drew your inspiration to be able to put the spring into that? It always interests me when somebody takes an idea and then adds their own level. What made you think to put a spring into it? Because I see these on the internet all the time, and I've never seen one with a spring added. And it's always interesting to me to realise somebody somewhere has thought to themselves, I wonder if I do this with that, and made it their own. And I think that is a great idea for anybody who's looking. That's why they're asking you about the spring, because the internet is going to be filled with gnomes with spring heads.
Yep.
Where did you get the inspiration? What made you think I can make that wobble? Where did you get your inspiration from? What made you think I can make that wobble?
Well, I was trying to make a gnome for last week's meeting, and So I just didn't want to make an ordinary gnome. And so I hadn't seen a bobblehead in a long time. And I said, well, shoot, let's just make a bobblehead. And I thought about just carving it out up here and putting it on a stick so it could wobble. And then, but it would keep falling off. So I thought, well, how about a spring? I had all over for a spring, and I took several wires and none of them worked good. I tried a number 10 gauge electrical wire, copper wire, and it was too stiff. So I started going down to the 12. So this is the 12. And so I think it works pretty. I think it works pretty good.
Captain, if you don't mind me saying that for the group is a perfect example of not only somebody making something their own, but its development and its design. And he's designed it, he's developed it, and he's made it work. And that is what I love to see about wood turners.
Oh, my head is getting going to explode. It's going to explode.
Definitely deserves it, because that's a great idea that has been well designed, developed, now works. And this is why we all need to watch other wood turners, because you've done the development, you've spent the money and you've spent the time, and we can now just take your ideas and try to make them ours. So well done for that. I've learned a lot from that. I think that's a great idea and a cracking design. Well done.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Howard.
Yeah, my head's
you're
getting
welcome.
so big right now. It's
You got to patent it.
Yeah, we'll keep you in line there, Howard. Don't worry.
And you know,
All right, let's
that's what
go
we
to,
do. That's what we do, or why we do what we do. Just like Charlie said, he saw the photograph and he thought, well, I can make one of these. And that's, we've seen Martin Clarkson with one before, and now we've seen the gnome with the moving head. We've seen some unique things, and all these. Think about it. You don't want to build that exact project? Fine. Take those concepts and play with them. Just have a ball. There's no rules. We're going to go to, Tim, you had Tim up there a second ago?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring him up here.
And Jim Duxbury, don't you shake your head, because you are the man for development.
Now I got to behave. So what I have, ignore what's behind me. I'm going to share my screen here because let's see here. We find the right thing to share, and it's not showing up. Crud.
Thought you would have had it ready to go there, Tim.
I did. I don't know why.
If you closed it, Tim, if you closed it with the red button, it went away.
No, I didn't close it with the red button. It's
we'll come back
being
to you.
stupid. Yeah, come back to me.
All right, let's go to Bob Clark. Hey, Bob.
Hello.
There he is.
Hi there.
Okay. Let's see, unmute myself. Okay, there. Anyway, I got a work in progress. So I thought, well, I'd show it. Still attached to the truck. But, this is a piece of Cape Laurel, not Cape Bay Laurel, wood that, well, I was at a club meeting last week, and the guy showed up with a whole bunch of pickup load full of this stuff, and this was like one of the last ones left. Nobody wanted it. And the Bay Laurel is actually the same tree that myrtle wood is made out of. They call it myrtle wood in Oregon because that sounds better than Cape Laurel or Bay Laurel, I guess. Anyway, kind of a southwestern design, hollow on the inside. It's got a coat of sanding sealer and one coat of Minwax antique oil on it. I'll probably put a couple of more coats on that, and of course turn the bottom off. But when I got it, it was all cracked, and when I first started turning, I hated cracks. I thought everything should be perfect, and I finally got to the point where I embrace cracks, and I filled them with the black rubberized CA glue, And so the cracks themselves kind of add to it now.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
That is beautiful.
Good.
Anyway, that's that. So,
Love
Thank
it.
you, Bob. Pretty work.
yeah.
I
Well,
love
the
that
tree did
shape.
most of the
Right.
work.
Back to Tim, see if he's got his IT sorted.
I think so. The scary thing is that was my job for too long. Yep, that was what I needed. Hit that button, and you should at this point.
A pin.
It says it's
Copy.
loading.
Is that coffee beans?
Yep, you see it? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had never tried making my own hybrid pen blanks before. And company I deal with when I actually buy wood, which is not often, had some coffee tree burl. And so I bought a piece, but I thought, I need to make that into a hybrid pen blank and put coffee beans in it. So it's Arabica coffee tree and it's Arabica coffee beans. So I was grinding coffee a little while ago, as you can see here. And if I go the right direction, nope, that's the cat. I do that every time. Go the wrong way. Except, damn it. There we go. I wasn't getting my arrows, sorry. Had to do a little bit of repair work, had a slight blowout. Plus the coffee beans do have air inside of them. So I had to do a little fill there with just some CA and some dust there. That's all that is. Some of these pictures I took because I want to share this with some of my coworkers. There you can see, got it sanded down. And there's the two halves. This is going to be a cigar pen when I have it, when I put it all together. And ready for the finish. I use Mercury Flex CA for a finish. And I think it looks
Ooh,
nice.
that-
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's
Really
not
nice.
finished.
Cool.
That gets polished yet.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you.
Pretty good
Good.
right now.
That's as far as I am right now.
Good job.
Because I like to let the CA sit for a good half hour or so before I start to work with it as far as polishing it. Even though it should cure in minutes, I like to err on the side of caution.
Normal fat.
When you're done, get
Beautiful
done.
work.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Tim. All right, let's go to Howard Johnson.
Hey, guys, us Howards think alike.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Here is something that I made. I don't know what wood it is. I call it mystery wood, but I made it scalloped and used a jig. I took a jigsaw and cut out these little scallops and then pierced it. And I had to carve the inside to make sure that it made the right curves on the scallops, and then pierced it, and then I put black ink on it. I said, well, I think I'll try doing some yellow on it with the just kind of like a dry brush with a yellow acrylic, but unfortunately it turned green on me for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. I used a laser to engrave this thing in the middle, and I put
Your
and I put-
green might have been from a blue component in your black, if that
It
makes
is.
sense.
It is. That blick has got some sort of blue in it for some reason. I don't know why. I'd be interested in somebody telling me get some pure black ink that wasn't affect, because I want to go in with some yellow sometime. But anyway, I thought I'd show this to you guys, and I'm the first time I've joined you guys. And,
Oh, welcome, sir.
That's great,
Yeah.
Howard.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Nice.
use a laser.
Can we see
to
the
engrave
bottom?
this, and
Howard,
what's that?
show us the bottom.
That's my logo.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like it.
nice.
That's my logo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Ann and I belong to the same club. She's the newbie that you guys were talking to
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
Bob Grinstead's
Cool.
also a compatriot of mine as well. So anyway, I thought I'd share this with you and say I enjoy the forum
And I'll be with you every Wednesday, I guess.
Good, we
sounds
welcome
great.
you.
Sounds good.
Howard, you said you didn't know what kind of wood that is?
Yeah.
Since it looks green, just tell everybody it's lime wood. They won't know the difference.
Okay, I was calling it mystery wood, but anyway, yeah,
It's
that's
lime wood.
Okay.
And then double the price.
Howard, a couple weeks ago, we had a discussion here in the club about black and getting true black. And I think that what we settled on was some sort of black ink, and somebody posted links to it in the club. So you might check back a couple of weeks in the meetings. I don't have it right off the top of my head, but there was a
Okay.
product that was suggested that was very black. So
Yeah, that black ink has got that blue in it, and so, yeah, I'd be very, very appreciative if somebody tell me a black ink that is black.
I think I left it in my Amazon shopping cart. I'll try and get it for you, put it in chat later.
Oh, sounds great. Appreciate it.
Thank you and
Right
welcome,
on.
Howard.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Let's go to Jim. What you got, Jim?
Okay. Well, after last week's talk about Sue's experience, I mentioned push sticks.
Mm.
Can you see that? I hope. you
Yep,
can.
Yep.
that looks good.
I'm always worried. Anyway, I turned one. This is my push stick. That's the on-off switch on the side of my bandsaw. It sits in a 1-inch clear tubing, flexible tubing that's just got a metal screw into the side of the bandsaw.
Hmm.
So it's right there when I need it. Oh, I got to turn this. These darn things. There it is. So you got the on-off switch, and right here is the push stick. This is my second one. It has saved me many experiences. As you can see, I drill holes in my bandsaw. I have all kinds of stuff hanging on here. In fact, right above the switch, these two little bolt holes and that little pilot light, there's a relay on the inside of this. And over on the other side of the brush is a plug. You can plug anything you want in. 110 volt. When you turn the 220 saw on, this 110 volt circuit kicks in. That turns the light on my bandsaw. So
Cool.
as I get older, I need light for everything. I can't see anything anymore. But
Have
anyway,
We all do.
the push stick has really worked great. I showed a triangular bowl last week. This week I made triangular or ikibarnas. Made a couple. That's a maple triangular ikibarna. There it is. You can't see the little points in there. For the life of me, I can't get those things to show, but you can kind of see them in there. But
Yeah, you can see them.
it's sort of, yeah. There's a whole history of ikibarna, the flower displays. This is the bottom of it. That hole was drilled all the way through. I made another one. I don't know what wood this is. This is from Hawaii. I picked this up. I demoed over there a couple of times, and they give me a bunch of wood. If you ever go to Hawaii, take a bunch of maple and cherry or whatever you got, because over there that's rare wood to them, and they'll give you all kinds of stuff. So I came home with all kinds of stuff, a whole suitcase full of stuff. But anyway, that's a brass ikibarna in the middle. The bottom of it, some kind of a burl. I don't know. They've got all kinds of neat wood over there.
Is it Koa?
No, that isn't koa. I don't know what it is. Anyway,
I think whatever it is.
this is granadillo. It's kind of a pretty wood. This is a square one. I made a square one with a round bottom.
That looks good.
It's about 5 inches square, I think.
Nice.
That's the bottom. That's it for me. I thought I had more than that. That's it for me.
Thank you.
All right.
Beautiful stuff, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, let's go. to James. He hasn't been on in a while. Hey, James.
You're not talking, James.
Muted.
You're muted.
Space bar.
There we go. I've been trying
We're
to
there.
upgrade my tools, and I was making handles for 'em, made out of maple. And I took some of the beading ideas, and I have a hard time remembering which tool is which. So I just labeled them with the beading
Yes.
and then colored them in. But they're all the handles are hard maple.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Something different.
Good
This
addition.
old mine has a hard time remembering stuff.
That is cool.
Thanhanks.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
what I've
little
got for
beading
tonight.
detail.
Right,
Mine's
right on.
marked. Mine's marked like that in with a black felt tip marker when Dane was here.
Right.
So the way I know what they are, I look on them and say, "Yep, that's a spindle gouge."
That's right.
So last week, Dave George came through Tucson. I met up with him. He brought down a couple of chunks of wood for me. And so here's
Oh,
a
yeah.
piece of honey locust he had brought, and it got turned into this.
Nice.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
Very nice.
Very nice.
Was that
What'd you
hard?
finish it with?
Real hard?
It's not as, yeah, it's a soft wood compared to my woods.
Really?
What's the
Oh,
finish?
the mesquite and eucalyptus and the olive wood out here is over 2,600 on the Yonka scale. So,
Hmm.
and Dave will be finding out when he gets his tools into the wood that he got. And then so this was a piece of autumn maple, and so it was a perfect size, had perfect bark for doing a natural edge. I dyed the outside.
Oh, I love the outside.
Give it a,
Great
give it
job,
a little
Dane.
character.
Yeah, that color is pretty.
I like that.
Gorgeous.
That's just black and red. And then I got a mini pedestal bottom on it.
Dane, that's beautiful, Dane.
Well, thank you.
What's the finish?
It's tongue oil.
Oh,
Tongue oil.
very nice.
Is that pure tongue oil, Dane, or polymerized type?
Polymerized. It's Minwax tongue oil.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Dane, I
And
want
that's
to
it
talk a little bit
for-
about. Let's chat a little bit about the stickers. We have a club logo that was developed a long time ago, and we've been discussing getting some stickers for the club. Dane shopped one end of the world. I shopped the other end of the world. We really went all around to find it. Okay. Whoever's got their audio up, somebody's catching them. We looked at the stickers, and I think and this is up to opinion from you folks, we've looked at a sticker that would be 3.5 by 3.5. That's round, so 3.5 by 3.5, and they come on a roll. And what we've put together, we can do them in packs of 10. So you get 10 stickers. And those 10 stickers get mailed to you in a regular envelope. The total cost for those 10 stickers is $5. That's the stickers, the postage, the envelope, everything. There is no bonus money on that at all. There's no profit. I lied. There's maybe 20 cents per package that would be an overage. And that's shipping to the United States. Shipping outside of that's gonna be in your buck, or added to your buck. But that'll give us the stickers we've been talking about. That's the package we put together. Now, if you want 100, that's fine. You can order 100, and whoever's taking the order can work it out for you and give you a fair deal with it, so you don't pay shipping 10 times or whatever. We want to work with folks on doing it. We did a poll on this a couple of weeks ago. We got a high rate of acceptance to doing this project. So I'd like to take the next step into it. And the next step would be to order the stickers. Now, before we jump, our logo right now says Worldwide Woodturners, and that's it. We have one that says .com. We can't use that because we're not .com. But I don't have one that says .org. But I played around on a computer this morning at the clinic and just typed in Worldwide Woodturners, and our site popped up. Now, this is a computer I've never touched before. So I think with just the words Worldwide Woodturners, people can find us. They'll know where we are. But I propose that we order the stickers. They're 3.5 by 3.5. All right. We have to buy 1,000 to get the deal. Now, 1,000. Don't get upset. That only gives us one shipment for 100 people. So we had 100 members order that package. We'll be out of stickers, and that's where I'm trying to get to. We won't run out. We will get to a point where we have to do another order, but we need to see the strength of the first ones before we continue on. I'm just getting on a bus. I'm not going to drive it. So that's what our proposal is right now. So that gives you 10 stickers plus the envelope plus the postage. And remember, nobody's getting paid. No one gets paid for this function. And all that'll come to you for $5. Now, my proposal to most of the guys and gals that were on here a while back was this is a 2-person project. I really believe in that. It has to stay above board, has to stay honest. There's no gray area. The money comes in, the money goes out. There's no profit made. We don't have a way to make profit. We don't have a can to go put the money in and bury it in the backyard. That can't happen, or it won't happen. So there'll be one member that will take the orders, receive the payment. That member will tell the member who's going to do the shipping who to send what to. Pretty simple, isn't it? All right. If you want to buy them, you send it. You contact Bob, and Bob will say, okay, by whatever system we set up, Bob will say, okay, you're going to get 10. Bob sends me your address, 10 stickers. Boom, boom, it's gone. We have one person collecting the money and another person sending the stickers. It might seem overkill, but I never want to have that gray area come to fold. Never want to have that gray area. We know where our money is, what we're doing with it, how we're doing it. Now the overage, see, there's an overage. The overage can pay for the stickers we decide to give away at symposiums and functions, etc. Because we do want to do that. I mean, I see Scott Hampton said I'll be in Waco to see everybody. Give me some stickers, and we have a handful of other folks. And I don't want to limit it this to one symposium. If we want to get our name out and let folks know what we're doing, how we're doing it, we have to hit all the functions, all the symposiums, all the gatherings, all the get-togethers. And with that, we just have to find a member of our club that is attending, get them a package full of these stickers, and have them distribute them. Just like we did business cards last year. To me, it's an important way to promote our group. And as Howard and Ann said, they heard about it from members. That's where you come in at. So we do this, you'll have stickers, you put them on your lathe, your toolbox, your neighbor's car windows, whatever you want. It's all free. Now, we don't have a poll set up for that. One co-host, can you generate a poll on this and post it real quick tonight? And then we'll see how you really feel. But right now, let's take a minute or two and take some comments.
Now, a poll I can do a poll that just says yes or no. That one's already out there. All I gotta do is turn it
Okay.
on.
Turn it on. Let's see what they say.
Well,
Okay,
I would also suggest that, because I saw that, like when we were talking about this, one of the last couple of weeks, some people said that they wanted like 30. So, maybe a poll that
The
allows
initial-
people to put in how many they think they want.
The
In
initial
groups of
order
10.
would be 10.
Yeah, in
The
groups of
initial
10.
order will be 10 per person to allow the folks that come to the weekly meetings an opportunity to get stickers on the first batch.
Gotcha.
Now, you also have to consider, somebody just said, going to look at a larger sticker? Yes, we are. When will that be? As soon as we see how this works out. Okay. And I think we've been meeting on the tailgate for 3.5 years or more. And we seem to be a pretty good group of folks and we get along. And that's why we want to do this. So I know I'm kind of dragging on a little bit, but I'm excited that we can take another step, and that's important to me. So if you're in favor, let's go get there and do on poll tonight. We got 100% say yes so far. This is not going to be like a game show where we keep popping and all that. But that's our proposal. We'll cover it a little bit more later on, but nothing right now is changing. We just want to know if you would be party to this. And then, Dane, would you suggest, well, right now we're going to stick with the 10 per member.
Yes.
And then we'll make adjustments as necessary.
Correct.
But I hate to say we got stickers and all of a sudden next week we don't. And that's why we want to do it this way. And we'll work with you.
Or,
right.
So the only other option is, instead of going with 1,000, then we go with a larger order.
It's got to be fronted right now.
Right. So that's the thing, it's got to be paid for up front. And then whoever pays for it up front, then it's got to be reimbursed as it trickles in on the back end. And I don't think
well
that's something that we want to get into, sitting onto a huge inventory of stickers, whether they're going to go out or not go out.
How much are we
Yeah.
talking for the 1,000 stickers up front? How much money are we talking about for that?
shipping-
$450, something like that. $400 to $450. Yeah. I've got management that is, she's probably going to let me go ahead and do the purchase and handle it. We have because we're on, all right, I don't work for my money. I did when I was in the service. But we can't handle the money on our end. You can't pay us through my account. It drive my bookkeeper, who works for free as a friend, nuts. So someone else would have to collect the money and send it. Management and I have agreed, we'll handle all the mailing. We've got a way to print the envelopes right here, package them out. I mean, we did this for 12 years as a business, and that's part of what we want. So
Who are you getting them from? Or who are you looking at?
U printing.
What was that again?
Say again.
uprinting.com.
Okay.
I've checked a dozen different places, and we really don't want to be abusive. We've dumbed it down to where it's a simple sticker. It's not clear and it's not a ton of color or anything else. We brought it way down to get started, because if we know the bus will go, then we'll keep going and we'll expand it a little bit. But right now, vote. Let us know. Right now we're at 100%, 53 out of 53, 82 folks out there in the meeting tonight. Jump on board, please. There's no commitment to that. It's just we want to know how you feel, because this is, and I don't smoke it, this is your wood turning club. We wouldn't have taken one step down the road without you being with us. Tonight we have a demonstration on by Matt Harber. He's going to show us a nifty jig that you can do things with. And we got some options for it too. But before we do that, we have to be safe. And to be safe, we go to Safety Sue in Tampa, Florida. Safety Sue covers our program for the evening. Sue, what's up?
Hi there, everyone.
That's not Sue. That's Brenda. I didn't do that this week, Brenda.
That's okay. There we go. There we go. First, I want to thank everybody for their concern and everything on my hand last week. Great news is no broken bones and no tendon damage. So I've got full motion on my fingers. They just don't look pretty anymore, but oh well. I told the doctor that I was going to wear a ring when I wasn't woodworking, and he said, "What if I don't have one big enough?" And I said, "Then this girl gets more bling." So there we have it on the fingers. So thank you again, everybody that commented and had me look at what happened to them. I sure appreciate it because it was because of you guys that I went to the ER on Thursday. So thanks again.
You're quite welcome. Glad we could help you. Help
Yes.
us. What's up?
Okay, does everybody know what this is? It's
A red can.
It's a red can. What do you think it is, guys?
Fire extinguisher.
Extinguisher.
That's exactly right. They make them in small cans now. They're almost as heavy as the big cans, but they make them in small cans and they're not expensive. And you should have at least one, if not two in your shop. You should have one in your kitchen. You should have one wherever there's going to be open flames. And since a lot of us do some burning, pyrography, or singe the edges with a little propane torch, this is a must. Also, remember that any of your oily rags, you need to put them in water first or let them dry off on a flat area before you toss them. Otherwise, you'll have self-combustion with any of the oily substances on rags. So folks, be safe this week. Make sure you have your safety extinguishers. And God bless. Have a great week.
Thank you, Sue. Glad to
Thank
see
you,
the hands
Sue.
healing up.
Thank you.
Back to it. And Sue said about the rags, that same thing can happen with the blue paper towel. You wad up a blue paper towel with solvent or whatever, and you toss it in the can in the trash can. If it's contained, it can spontaneously combust, and you don't want a fire. Of all else,
Yeah, anything with natural fiber will do that. I bought myself a small, I want to say 2 or 3 gallon metal trash can that sits outside the shop. And when I have the rags, I put water in it. Toss a rag in, dump some more water in. Eventually I'll get around to emptying it, but that sits outside the shop. So if it does catch, it's not going to burn anything down.
good idea, good system.
Yeah.
That. And if you haven't experienced a fire, little one, big one, or whatever in your shop, you don't want to. I lost a good turning friend over in Mississippi who was turning or finishing something and got some of the fluid on him. It caught fire. He didn't know he was on fire. He went into his house to where the fire followed him with him, and he died from it. And then I've got a really good friend. He's a turner using something on his lathe. I think it was denatured alcohol to clean something, a spark, and it burned up his right arm. Really, it's terrible looking. But he said, when it happened, I didn't have a way to put the fire out. And he was thinking about putting fire. You think about putting fire on him. He was looking at the overall scheme as, is it going to continue? It's a shop in his brand new house. So that little bottle of fire extinguisher is a lifesaver. It's not a toy. It's a lifesaver. So think about it.
Yeah, and alcohol burns clear too. You can't see the flame from it.
Yeah. If you ever watched that pro racing with the cars that only go left, they have to have certain things to where they, because it doesn't show up.
Yeah, you can't
Hey, Eddie? What
Oh,
about,
please.
near your, lasers? Your,
The same width.
yeah, you should probably have one near your laser engraver too.
That's right.
That's where I have it. I have almost the identical thing that Sue showed us earlier. And I got mine at a dollar store, not for $1, but I found it in a dollar store.
Another thing,
I was,
from us folks-
pardon me?
another thing from us folks up north that burn wood, we have what we call ash cans. So you could put, it's with their metal cans in the varying sizes with a tight fitting metal cover. So you put all of your rags into there, and I would set mine outside, except during real inclement weather. And if something catches fire, it stays contained inside. And please, as a former firefighter, do not put oily rags into a plastic waste container.
Nope.
Several houses burned down. People put their fireplace ashes into a plastic bucket, set it out on the porch. Well, guess what? Next thing you know, the whole front of your house or back of your house is just on flames. So metal can with a tight fitting cover.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate the update on that.
A steel wool burns pretty good. Steel wool burns pretty good too, if you get finish on it.
Oh, without finish, it burns
Sure
pretty
does.
good.
Yes, yes.
Steel, once you start steel wool on fire, it's hard to put out.
That's
Yeah, I did it.
interesting, Jim. I never thought of that.
When
Yep.
I was a kid, we used to tie it on a piece of wire, light it up and swing it around.
And the oxygen in the steel rust will keep the fire going under a blanket of whatever you're putting it out with, the fire extinguisher. It can keep going. Lead oxide's even worse. Lead oxide will burn on itself.
So we will learn. We're all here to do that. Just share and learn. So be careful with it. Talking about sharing, it's 8 minutes after the top of the hour. It's time for us to go to Snow Country.
Matt Harber.
Maybe it's Snow Country.
Snow country.
Yeah, there's still snow on the ground here.
All right, we're going to Snow Country with Matt Harber tonight, and we're going to take a look at a nifty little thing. And I spoke about this earlier. This is don't belittle this little project. This is a great little project because you can do standalone items and do accent items. Matt, this is your demonstration, folks. If you have comments on the demonstration, hold them to the end. If you have questions, ask them when you're ready. But let's let our demonstrator go rock, roll, and make some shavings. Go ahead, Matt.
All right. Well, first thing,
Hey,
before I
Can I
get too
cut in
crazy.
real quick?
Yeah.
Are we done with the poll? The poll is like still on my screen.
Did
You can
not sub-
close it
did you-
anytime you wish.
Did you
Okay,
not sub-
thank
did you
you.
not submit it?
Well, I can't, but I didn't want
Okay.
to.
Well, Eddie, can I just go ahead and close the poll?
Yes, sir, it can. As we
Okay,
say,
thank you.
the votes are in. It's 61 out of 61. Has said, let's proceed with that project. We're proceeding with it. Now, Matt, it's yours.
Okay. First thing I want to do, is to show my own worldwide. It's my own stickers here. It's white, so it's not that easy to see here, and it's upside down. But I do have one, and it's there.
Good.
Okay.
Is that the ones we did early on?
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
couple years ago, like right after we've started, and I got one of the last ones. All right, so what I'm demonstrating tonight is what's called the Joyner jig. I got it from Ruth Niles Bottle Stop or NilesBottlestoppers.com. I do have links to show in a minute, but this is the whole bit of it. Okay, so what this consists of, and I'll show the details of this in a minute. This is the black bit is a mandrel. Okay, this bit is a threaded rod. It's 1/4 inch by 20. I don't know if I bought this from Ruth Niles or got it myself. And this is just basically a knob. And what this is a number 2 MT, and it sits in your spindle. And this goes on the outboard side and holds it in the spindle so it doesn't come out. And now I'm going to go switch to the details here.
Hey, Matt, you talk about that coming from Ruth Niles. You do know that an outlaw owns that firm now, right?
Who?
An outlaw.
Yeah, Carl Jacobson
Outlaw.
owns it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The outlaw Carl Jacobson. He bought Ruth retired, and Chris and Carl picked up the business. They do
Yep.
great at it.
Yeah, Ruth's
Yep.
reasonably local to me too. Newville's
Very-
not far from here.
Very cool. Very cool. So this red bit is the jig. Okay. And what it consists of, the bottom of it here has a bunch of holes that you can set the, you can screw the mandrel into. Okay. And if you notice, they're numbered. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, they're showing up.
Number one is the center hole, which is where I've got this screwed into right now. 2, 3, 4, and they kind of spiral out, so they're getting further from the center. Now, this is 2 parts, okay? I don't know if you can see this here, but I've got this zeroed, okay? So there's a second faceplate in here, and it's held in by these screws on the outside here, okay? And so what you can do is you can unscrew these little screws and then rotate things. And what I've got here, this is a faceplate that I've made that's got double-sided tape on it right now. And that is screwed into the little faceplate here that rotates. So this has got all the functionality that Jim Duxbury's jig also has. But it's, you know, it's aluminum and it's numbered and you can repeat it. Okay, so let me go to the little document I got here. So using the Joyner off-center jig, the piece in the picture here is a piece I did myself on this jig, where this is what you get when you rotate it and do it in the same hole. You get circles like this, all the same size. These are the links. The first one is a link to the jig itself. My jig I got a number of years ago, and the one they've got up there now has got more parts than mine does. So the second link under that is the mandrel itself. She also has, well, it's not she anymore, but they have instructions on how to use it. And there is a second set of instructions, which is the third bullet point down. And I've been working off of these instructions here because these are the ones that I had when I got the jig. And the fourth bullet point is a direct link to this Excel spreadsheet tool that lets you reconfigure. And the little picture in the lower right there is a sample page from that spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet is a real cool tool if you can run Excel spreadsheets, because it lets you put in parameters and see, it'll show you what you get, because all that bit on the right, the diagram on the right, is what you get when you plug the numbers in. So this is another example of how to keep track and how you can repeat things with this. And one of the beauties of this tool is that it allows you to repeat a pattern that you like. You find something, you experiment with something that you like, and you can repeat it. So, and then let's go to this one again. No, let's go to this one. Okay, so this faceplate is just a piece of wood. It's maple, and it's got double-sided tape on it. And I'm using this carpet tape I got from Ace Hardware. They didn't have any of the Ace Hardware stuff. This is Duck brand, but it's worked pretty good for me today, at least. And this is my test project that I did earlier today with this jig. Okay, so we're going to play with that a little bit. These are used. This is pretty big. This is like 3 inches or so in diameter. This is a lot bigger than most of the little mandrels you'll turn, but this is not exclusively limited to doing this sort of mandrel. It will allow you to do small off-center pieces too. Like say you wanted to get something twisted on a chess piece or do bottle stoppers or something. You can use this jig to do off-center bottle stoppers, for instance. So any questions on that so far?
No, I'm gonna tell you folks, that ones that are being sold right now by Carl Jacobson, in my opinion, is made by the best machinist I've ever met, a guy named Paul Holmes out of St. Charles, Missouri. And he adjusted that thing on the outside to make it, I mean, the swirl and the cutters and the numbers and all that, he adjusted it because he didn't understand the other one. So this thing is very, very doable. Very doable.
Cool. Anything else?
Matt, also you mentioned repeatability, but you can also do lefts and rights And that's worth trying sometime.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You can move it around. You can move the centers around. You can change which center you're using and then rotate it. So you've got a different center. You can basically put a center anywhere on your mandrel that you want to put it on. All right. So let me get. So what I've done here is I've started with a piece of wood. It's kind of thick. I don't know, probably 3/4 of an inch. And I've sanded this pretty smooth. And one of the reasons why I've sanded this pretty smooth is so I can get it to stick to the double-sided tape here. So, come on, baby. So I'm going to try and get this as centered as I can. Oops, wrong side.
Yeah, about to say, bump's going to make it hard.
Yes, it is. I'll get some really interesting aberrations. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a, what did I do with that? There it is. I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating here. I'm gonna bring up a live center to hold it until I can get it cleaned up. Now, what you'll notice here, let me switch to the end camera, is this is kind of rough. All right, and I've got this nub to clean off. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to make it round, and then I'm going to clean up this surface, and then we'll start doing off-center stuff. All right. Any questions so far?
That's your rubber Chucky soft tip?
Yes. Yeah. It's and these are basically that's all it is, and it's just screwed on top of my live center. So I have other ones, but this is smallest. Now, because this is just stuck on here with the tape, you want to make sure that you do some the cuts you make are light. Don't get too aggressive. Don't get too crazy. Just do what you need to do to get it done. And I'm just using a small deep fluted bowl gouge here to clean things up. Making light cuts. Make sure your tools are sharp, of course. These are all shearing cuts. All right, let's have a look. Nice and clean. Now I'm going to use my big deep fluted bowl gouge and do a shear scrape across this. To remove any sort of. Yep. And then we'll sand it quickly here. I know nobody wants to watch sanding, but you're going to have to. Any questions?
Nothing yet,
Looking
man.
good to me.
All right. Note these are sanding mandrels. These are from Klingspor's site. You can turn these things on the lathe to make them different sizes if you want. The Velcro is from Industrial Velcro from Home Depot. And it makes changing your grits really easy. All right. Okay. All right. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off the center post and I'm going to move it to an outside post so I can make the hole in
This is Trice.
in middle. Hello?
Doing pretty good. Now fixing to try.
Hold on, Matt. We have to pop up and mute everybody and bring you back.
We got
All
it.
right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to change up what I did earlier. Okay. So I'm putting it in a different hole than I did this afternoon for my dry run or my test run. Because I want my, all right, and let me tell you how I'm modifying it. Okay. All right. So this hole was done in hole number 8. And these 4 circles here were done in hole number 8, about a 1/4 inch apart. So I'm going to start this in hole number 10, which is further outside. Okay. And I'm going to, if these were a 1/4 inch apart, I'm going to make them a 1/2 inch apart because I want more separation so I can fit a design in here a little more interestingly. Okay. So those are the changes I'm going to make for this alteration. All right. Any questions so far?
All good.
All right. Now, there's a number of different tools. Let me switch to this camera here. There's a number of different tools you can use to cut the grooves on this. So one of the tools is a diamond carbide tool. Okay. I have one of these. I think I got it from China. Don't tell Ron Campbell. This works well. I cut the ones I cut this afternoon. I tried all of these this afternoon. This is what's called a 3-point tool. This is homemade. I made the tool handle. I made everything on this one myself. I made the tool itself. And it's just basically, each surface is 120 degrees apart. There's just 3 surfaces on the end here. It's a piece of round stock. Now, I also have this tool here, which is called like a point tool or a diamond tool. You can use this to make grooves, okay? And you can use a skew. You can use this to make the grooves. And there's a guy online, video I watched a few days ago, who is making them with a spindle gouge or a detail gouge. You've got to be real good with this tool to do this on the face. That's all I'm saying. Okay, questions so far? All right, so this is going to be the first hole here. Oops, here. And it's going to be further up. And one of the things you can do when you're making this hole right now is you can do something around. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I made a sort of a dimple here. I've made this more interesting than just a hole. Okay. So that looks neat when you do that. So I encourage that also. So let me see here. Let me, you know what? I'm going to make this hole 1/4 inch deep. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the rubber chucky thingy out and do it with a 1/4 inch drill bit instead. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is drill the hole. And then I'm going to, and then I'll augment it, and then I'll get down and put in the outer grooves. So bear with me on this here while I change drill bits in my Jacobs chuck. Pick up any dropped tools. What's that?
Change camera angle. Can you change the camera angle?
Sure. How about this one? Nope, that was the one we were at. How about this one?
Yeah, I think that'll look better.
Okay, so this is what it's going to look like whipping around here. Okay. Isn't that fun? And just so y'all can see where my center is. Oh,
Yeah, I gotta see this.
it's going to be right about there. Okay.
You think it was awkward the way you're looking at it, think about the way we were looking at it.
So I'm just drilling the hole. No big deal, right? Now, because you're doing off center stuff here, it's real important that you make sure that you don't, when you move the tool rest, that you stop the lathe before moving the tool rest, because you've got a lot of things flying around in midair that could whack that. So be real careful. Make sure you spin it so it doesn't hit anything. So now I'm going to clean this up a bit and make a sort of a dimple there. And I'll use this tool for it. My glasses so I can see what I'm doing.
What tool is that?
This is a deep fluted bowl gouge again, small.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so. And I'm just gonna, raise the tool rest. And I'm just gonna shave it out a little bit. And I could use a skew to do this with. Let's see, where's my skew? I could use a skew, use it as a negative rake scraper. All right, there's a lot of options. So I could even use a spindle gouge or something else. So let's see here.
Okay, members, as Matt is doing this, your brains are clicking, you're going around, and I got ideas about how to accent some things. Go ahead and play with your ideas.
Yeah, and the beauty of this is that, all the ideas are valid, and record what you're doing so you can repeat it if you're like, oh, that's cool, and then you're like, okay, that's what I want to do. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so on this one here before, where did I do with my template? There it is. I started this quite a ways from my hole. Whoops, let me drop it down here so you can see it. I started this first circle quite a ways from my hole. So, probably 1.5 inches. So I want to come closer in. So I don't know, let's start it there. And then we'll do the next one 1/2 inch apart. And the next one 1/2 inch apart. Now, if I can get one in, I don't think I can get one in here. We're going to sand off these pencil marks, but okay. So, and then the reason why I'm doing these is so that I know in pencil is so that I know where they're going to be, and I can find them with the tool. All right, any questions so far?
No, nothing.
And while I was doing this, Jim and Billy, if he's in the house, I was thinking about ways how I would do this if I was doing it with the tool that Jim built. You know what? I think those are too far apart. Let's change the design of this. Okay, so we'll still start an inch in, but instead of 1/2 inch, let's make it 3/8. Do it there. 1, 2, 3.
That's why you did it in pencil instead of tool.
Yep. No, it's there. Ah, it's here. All right, so this is going to be fun because now I've got to remember which one is which.
Matt, I do the same thing with my jig. I do a lot of pencil drawing too.
I believe it.
The other thing is, instead of pencil, sometimes I use a divider to give me I just scratch it on there.
Yeah, I hear you. I've got dividers that'll do that. 1, 2, 3, there. Huh. Is that right? That can't be right. I'm in the wrong one.
Too many lines.
Yep. All right, that's better. All right.
Colored pencils.
Yeah,
Colored
right.
pencils.
Easier to hit them when you got a lot of them.
All right, so I'm going to do a lot of stopping and starting here to make sure I hit the right lines. So I'm going to use the 3-point tool. I'm going to start it with that. Oh, I better check. Yep, okay. Now, don't rush these and don't put too much pressure on them. Remember, you've got some air you're turning on these. I like that. 2, 3, this one here. So go slowly. Let the tools do the cutting. This one. Not this one, this one. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my skew and widen these a little bit. And the reason why I'm widening them is purely aesthetic. I want to be able to put the Sharpie in here better so that you can see the cuts better. All right. So I don't know, can you guys see that? Those are the cuts I've got so far. All right. Questions so far?
Somebody asked, can you use a beading tool to do those grooves?
You can. You guys want to see me do that? We'll put one in on the end. How would that be?
That'll work for me.
What I have is the D-Way beading tool. Ah. All right. Marked with the Sharpie. Let's get a beading tool out and see what happens. Well, unfortunately, I've got either a real small one or a real big one. You know, I could have used this because I did 3/8. Yeah. I'm worried this is going to toss this.
Well, we own there's no rules, just experience.
All right, let's see what happens. So, yep, it does. It works. There you go.
That's cool.
Nice job.
So that was the 3/8 one. So probably would have given me a more precise. Oh, that's even a better cut. Note to self, use the beating tools. Okay. All right. Now, all right. So that's worked so far. All right. Here's the difference between the two so far. All right. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've gotten closer here. So enough to give me nearly a full circle around on this one. And they're 3/8 instead of a 1/4 inch apart. So they're a little wider, which gives me a little more room for the second bit here. So now if I want to keep this consistent, then I'm going to try to, everything's in the way. I'm going to try to shift to a hole that's on the other side. So this was in hole 10. So I think that hole 5 is on the other side of the center from this, but I'll check to make sure. But if I wanted to get them off to the center, off to the side, then I would switch it to a different hole. Or again, I could leave this in the same hole and change the indexer. You know what? That might be fun. No, let's show this.
That's where I thought you were going.
Yeah. We'll do something repeatable here. All right, so let me switch. Let me show you guys what I'm going to do here. Overhead camera is this one. Okay, so I was in this hole, the number 10. So the one, and this is the center hole. This is number 1. So the one that's closest to being on the opposite side is number 5. But I know that this screw is going to be in the way, so I'm just going to move it. So that comes with 4 screws, and you're supposed to use 4 screws, but you can get away with 3, and the directions say that. 2 actually hold it pretty well. I have never had a problem. So if I go in 5, then it'll be a little closer to the center, and it'll be on the other side. The center will be over here, and you'll see that in a minute. So screw it in there. Any questions on what I'm doing?
Well, 5 is a different offset. If you want to keep the same offset, you can index the front plate, can't you? Is that?
Yeah, but I also want to change the center. I want a different offset.
Okay.
Just to show this.
Yeah.
So that's where I was going with this. If you'll notice from this piece here, okay, this offset is a lot closer to the center than this one is. And this is the center for these circles on this one. So this offset is closer to the center. And if I wanted to, if I did, didn't want to mess with the indexing, and I wanted it to put it over here, then I could, like, if I put it in 4, it'd be closer and over here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or 3 or whatever. All right. But that's an excellent observation. So you can change the offset, and that's one of the reasons what makes Jim's tool so versatile. And this one also is being able to change that offset. All right, anything else? All right, so my center is going to be right about there. All right.
Switch your camera.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Sorry.
No worries.
All right, so y'all can see where the center is going to be. It's going to be right about there. All right, so what I want is I want to put one in the middle here. And I want to put one in the middle here. And I want to put one, kind of hard to see. Let's see how those work. Oh, that'll be interesting, won't it? Let's do that.
Yes.
Okay. I like those. All right. Let's start with the trusty 3-point tool. In here. Now I got a lot of meat out here, so I could probably put another one in here if I wanted to. Let's see what I got here. Let's use this to widen them a bit. That's probably pretty good. So we'll do those. So holes that the circles that I've just cut are these. In
Getting
there.
crowded on you.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the piece that I've got so far. I think that's a pretty neat looking piece right there, frankly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on the center hole and just and give it some sanding and go from there. Any questions so far?
Hey, Matt, before you take it off, wouldn't it be fun if you had just done the on the secondary where you've got the circle now, done that with the beading tool so that you had beads and flats?
Yep, you could. The short answer is that the beading tool will go pretty deep. Let me get the beading tool out. Let me show that. So this,
I know, well, I have one. I just thought it'd be fun.
okay. Yeah, the beading tool will go pretty deep. I mean, you're right. I mean, I could go back here right now and do that, I guess. So let's, as a matter of fact, because it's a request, because it's you.
Love you, Matt.
Thank you. So, and let's get the companion tool out that D-Way gives you, which is a sort of a teardrop shape and designed for, could use this to do this too. It's not working really well. So this other tool here is a D-Way tool also. And I can you guys see the shape of that?
It's sort of like the 3-point tool, but only 2 points.
Yeah,
or
but it's
sides.
also slanted. So it's
Yeah.
the same sort of angle that the beading tools are. Okay. But it's like half of, it's like one side of it. Okay. So what you can do is you can use it to round those off with. So these are now more rounded, Sue. I'm a little worried about what it does to my thing in my piece in my hole in the center, but I can come back with a Forstner bit or something and clean that up on the drill press. So basically what we did is we made these rounder, wider, and I tried to. So that's educational, you guys. I don't know who asked about the beading tool, but that's a really great piece of addition to this. So thank you, whoever did that. Note to self: beading tools work really well.
That came from Stephen, who asked about that.
Well, that's a great addition to this because I didn't think about using those, and I'm glad you did. So anyway, that's what that looks like with all the inking done. So what it's given me actually is it's given me wider grooves there as part of it. So that's an interesting sort of change. So this is not, like I said before, this is not restricted to flat stuff. Okay, you can do this to do anything off center, like bottle stoppers or chess pieces or any, small candlesticks or something like that. Anything that's decent enough for the tool to take, for the jig to take, will work. If that makes sense.
Think about a lid for a box.
Yep.
Just, and you could put the knob on the hole or on the other dot, or both.
The holes are very precise.
Well made. Well made.
Yeah, it's educational to note as well that that this lathe does not come with a lock for a spindle lock. So I made one. It's got 2 magnets and it just sits over my button. All right, so I'm gonna sand this, clean it up a bit. So any more input or questions or anything I can help answer? Or
I have some ideas I want to share at the end when you get this done, because this is such a nifty thing to work with if you want to have some fun.
Yep, it is a lot of fun.
And these are all scraps, or as Kim Tippin would call it, unturned wood.
Small pieces of wood waiting to become artistic creations.
There you go. I knew that. That's it.
All right.
Didn't that come off of Ruth Now's t-shirt at her place?
So there's my finished piece using this jig. And I didn't rotate anything to give more off center stuff, but you can certainly do that. And if you're playing with the spreadsheet will let you do that. So there's a lot you can do, and I really love the idea of using that spreadsheet to pre-assess things before you wade in. So there you go. Any questions?
Pretty cool.
Here's an idea before we went one or too far. Okay, that is one-sided piece. Let's bring it down to about 2 inches in diameter or 2.5 inches in diameter. And we put that detail on the face of it. Can we, with the double stick tape and the mandrel you have all made up, can we flip it over and do the backside?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I may need
not-
to replace some of the tape, but we can.
Yeah, but no, not really the same pattern. We're not locked into that pattern.
Right. So, and I can just put this anywhere.
Lord help you if you want the same pattern.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have the spreadsheet, Jim.
You don't do this.
So, all right. So now we've got the backside. All right. All I got is my hole. And I don't care because I'm just going to play with the pattern here. Got all these tools here.
Remember, the beauty of this is there are no rules on
Yeah, but
design.
and I didn't pay any attention to how it lines up with what's on the front. So we can just put a couple of things in here and go that way. So let's put a couple of tight ones in. These are centered. All right. So then let's rotate it. Let's put it in a different. And I just colored the ones on the front with the black so that you guys could see them better. And you certainly don't need to do that.
Instead of undoing the center, why don't you just do the offset? Show us how that works.
All right. Well, in order to do the offset, I've got to go offset center also. You follow me?
Yeah.
So I'm in a different hole than I've used for any of this. So let's put 3 more rings in.
Now this piece is being held on a wooden block held with double stick tape. That's why those cuts are so gentle.
Okay, I put 4 cuts in. So so the first set of rings are on center. The second set of rings are off center. So now I'm going to leave it in the same hole and I'm going to rotate it. So I've got to take these little, let me go on the top here. So I'm going to take these little screws out. So, and I can use the indexing here. I've got it zeroed right now. So I'll roll it. Let's say, I think there's, if I remember, there's 24 all the way around. Yeah, 6, 12, 18, 24. So let's roll it a quarter turn. So the 6 is now on the 0. And we'll go there. All right, so there's my 0. There's my 6. All right. Or not. There we go.
Also with the one I show, you just loosen the chuck, leave it in the same offset and spin the center, and tighten the chuck. So it's
And the details for that Jim's talking about is on our website, folks.
All right. I'm going to try to be real careful here because I think the tape is starting to fail.
camera.
All right, so let's see what that did. So
change cameras, please, sir.
Oh, I'm on the top. I'm sorry. Thank you. So things have gotten pretty chaotic here. So the first set, this one, and this one, and this one are on the center. These are the ones I've just turned here. And these ones here are the ones from the first off center. So you can get a pretty chaotic mix here. That's one of the reasons why the planning with the spreadsheet or similar tool is pretty important, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The
So-
3
Yeah,
offsets.
perfectly.
I've done a bunch of these. The 3 offsets work kind of nice. You'd go 0, 8/16, I think it is.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not sure. This is starting to shift on the tape.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's loose. So I might, in the course of trying to change this, it might have got off center a little bit too. So I'm not so sure if that is a good example, but yeah, in thirds, that's a really good, or in quarters, you'll get one set of circles here, one set of circles here, one set of circles here, and that's a good mix, because you're going to get things intersecting at good places if you keep them. One of the other tricks you can do is put a piece of masking tape on your tool rest and not move your tool rest. So I put a piece of masking tape here and I say, all right, I want to make my cuts at intervals of a quarter of an inch or a half an inch. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make one of my cuts here, one of my cuts here, one of my cuts here, one of my cuts here. All right. And so I've got an indication of where my cuts are going to go, and then they're all ordered. All right. If that makes sense. I mean, I was essentially doing the same thing on the front side of this when I was measuring. When I was measuring, how far apart these are. And we were doing the same thing with the 3/8 beating tool. These are all 3/8 inch apart, right? So those are all options. So, but having that repeatability can guarantee you a cleaner look instead of cacophony. So that's another good reason to record what you do. So, but I really like this one I did this afternoon. It's got a kind of a winged look to it, and these are really bigger than that you would usually have them. Usually they'll be about this big. Okay. So, lots of options. Questions?
Cool.
Very cool.
The other
No
important
comments.
The other important factor is the depth of cut. You want to keep that as equal as you can from one to the other.
Yep. Unless, there are reasons to vary that, but in general, you want them all to be the same. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jim.
Yeah, now if you domed over that piece, if you convexed the outside of that, you held the same depth when you pushed in the tool, you'll get a high and a low in each radius. You go deeper on one, it'll come up shallow near the edge. What we've been talking about, this is up to your mind. It's a very simple project, and the new joiners jigs from Carl Jacobson's firm, which is still Ruth Now's Bottle Stoppers. It has got some other attachments on the faceplate, so where you can get down to do earrings with offsets, you can do jewelry, all kinds of other things. You can play with it. Paul's just put a lot of tricks into it.
Yeah, one of the additions is the little green pieces. If you follow the links that are in my little spreadsheet, let me go to that here really quick. So if you go to the first link I've got here, this will send you to the bottle stopper. Okay, so you'll see that there's a whole bunch of new features there. So he's added some things other than what I've shown here. So the green pieces are basically replace the faceplate, and you put your tape right on the green pieces, and you move them around because they've got screws and stuff in them too. So they basically have removed the need to make the wood faceplate. So and I do want to, before we end up here, I do want to show this last bit here. So these are my basic steps that I followed here. Okay, so you turn and set up the waste block plate. You screw the faceplate under the jig. It goes on like any other faceplate. There's screws for it. You assemble the whole rest of the jig, you flatten out the faceplate, and then you put the two-sided tape on it. And then you use the spreadsheet to determine where you go from there. And you know, in here, I've also said that I recommend that you experiment. I recommend that you try things. There are lots and lots of possibilities here that are really extraordinary. And I encourage that also. So.
Just like a
Outstanding.
spirograph.
Yes, and some of the things that, I mean, you know, in this, you know, in the first page here, you know, this was kind of spirographic, you know what I mean? So
yes, that would look cool too in different colors.
yeah, and what this is a piece of cherry, and my finish on this is super glue, and I have instead of painting or coloring the grooves, I've filled them with brass powder and use super glue to fix that in place. So there's a lot of things.
That is turning on one point, but indexing the block to create those 5 or 6
There's like 6 or
different
7
lobes.
circles, 6 or 7 circles there, I
Yeah.
think.
Wow.
Yeah, that's neat looking.
Yeah,
That
so
was
there's
oh,
a lot of
Matt.
choices. Yep.
Explains a lot what I wasn't getting before. So yeah, that's explains a lot. Thank you.
Yep, and the jig that Jim Duxbury made is a great jig, and it doesn't work quite the same way, but you can get to the same places with that jig. So and I think it's really cool to see that. It's on my list to make. So it's so did I get it?
Matt, you said that the tape started to give up. I found when I've done them, if I bring my soft touch up, you know, when I've changed, I'll bring the soft touch up and let it rest on that face for just a minute or two to re-adhere that tape a little bit in case a little dust or something sneaked in there.
Yep, that's an excellent idea. And if you're playing around with the edges or something, you can leave it there. So yep, that's, you know, that's a great idea. And if you guys want to see this, I'll just show the last, I'll turn off the corners. I'll dome it. So it'll be a little, you can see what, you know, how it looks a little more if you dome it.
Sounds good.
So if you're not bored of this yet.
I like it. I like the ideas you're coming up with, folks. You know, I know you're coming up with ideas, challenges.
And what this is, I mean, this is essentially the same thing if you domed it to begin with. The cuts you're going to make will disappear at the edges.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It gives you the highs and lows I was speaking about.
Yep, exactly. So, and that changes that piece because it's now you've lost what was out here. So it changes it quite a bit from what we had before. So
cool.
When you're done, I could show a piece of that that's done that way.
I'd love to see it. I don't have anything else. So, you know, if we want to switch to regular club meeting and see what Jim has, I'd love to see it. Any other questions for me or anything I can answer with this?
Yeah, Matt, this is Doug Rowe. I came in late. What is the name of that you're using right now?
It's all in the spreadsheet, but it's the Joyner jig from the Ruth NilesBottlestoppers.com.
Joyner jig. That thing is cool.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
What I see, and I've never seen that before. This is my first time ever seeing that. What I see is a really high-end funnel recovery system. Because that would be a really cool plug to put in a bowl that I've messed up.
I'll send it to you, bro.
Oh, goodness.
lot of options, a lot of options. Like to see what you members can turn out of this because it's not challenging. It's fun. It's just fun. That's it. All right, Matt, thank you so much for your demonstration tonight, sir.
Demo.
And Matt, if you
would send me a Thanks, copy Matt.
Of your sheets, I'd appreciate it. For some reason, they're coming up slightly distorted on the screen, so I won't be able to extract them off the screen.
I will send you the PDF.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Really enjoyed your demo. Can we get a glimpse of your shop?
Really? Okay. My shop is, there's barely enough room for me and one other person in here. So let me detach this camera and show you around a little bit. All right. So, and let me back it off. Let me see here.
Different camera.
Wrong camera. Where am I? This one here. Oh, I got to go this here.
There you go.
Ooh, doggy.
All right. So there's a table saw being used as a table. This is the thing that's on the top of my lathe. It's got magnets holding it on. I've got a lot of junk in there. This is my overhead camera articulating arm. There's the camera behind my computer. It's on a sort of a partial arm. It's the one that looks at me. There's the arm for lights, and there's the setup for the tail camera that I'm holding. This is the end of my lathe. There's my lathe and some of the tools I was showing. and there's the end of my lathe and my grinder. More wood. My bandsaw's buried back there. I had to move some stuff for the demo, so it's all stacked on top of the bandsaw, including my dinner. So, and behind here, under the cover, there's speakers because you got to have music tunes in the shop, right? There's wood everywhere. There's Dremels and stuff underneath. Underneath the blue tarp here is my grinding, carving, burning station, and there's a band scroll saw back there too. Let's see here. Let me switch back over this way. Table saw. There's more wood under the lathe. Can't see that. There it is. More wood under the lathe there. So, and that's my shop.
What do you have your turning tools in?
This is.
There you go.
This is a shelf holder that was in the kitchen. It was in a pull-out drawer, and it held like trays and stuff, but it was about this wide. So I cut it in the middle and put a 12-inch dowel on both on the top and the bottom. And it's slightly angled forward a little bit, so the tools sit in the back. So
cool.
And it's hanging on. What I did is I had to make a little framework for my lights. So lights, overhead LED lights, because I have the same problem everybody has. I need as much light as I can get. So I've got high lumen LEDs in here. So I made this framework to hold my lights. And then I realized I could custom make little tool handles to hold everything. So I cut these little hooks and stuff out on the bandsaw as I need them. And I got all sorts of things hanging on here, including, I don't know if you can see this. Let me, if I can get there. You see here, there's power strip on the top there. Power strip over there. So, and I have a lot of, oops, hang on. Sorry for the vertigo, folks. So I've got a lot of customized little tool hooks and handles to hold things, including up here. I've got sanding sealer right above me here in a can. I got a little holder for that. So there's my shop.
Cool.
Nice shop.
Makes me feel a lot better about the state of my shop.
Thank you.
We're all in the same boat, Matt.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know where everything is in my shop. Okay, you guys. So it's like, I know where everything is. So it's like,
That's that number 10 socket.
We make do with what we got.
it's in the top drawer on the right.
I bet you can't find that 5/8 open end box end wrench.
It's in the fourth drawer down here, in the front, in the
Okay,
middle.
all right, all right. Until I see it, I don't believe it.
All right, all right, all right.
Are in my shop.
Oh, now you
Five
challenged him.
eight-
Now
five
you
eight,
challenged him.
Open the inbox
Oh,
in.
gosh.
Is the
What size?
Walk right
5/8.
There's a 9/16, there's a 7/16, there's the 5/8.
Okay, all right, all right, all right.
And the 10 millimeter socket?
You guys already asked me that. It's the top drawer on the right. I use those a lot.
Right on.
I actually have several different, I bought 10 millimeter sockets multiple times. So we all know how they walk around.
I know, right?
They seem to grow legs.
Yes, they do. I did actually find one. There was one like underneath the tool chest in the back. I was looking for something else and I was like, oh, there's a socket here. Oh, it's the 10 millimeter. Of course it is.
Nice. Good find.
My shop is 9 foot wide by 30 feet long.
Yeah, I'm 11 by 22.
No
11 by
matter how
21.
big it is, it's never big enough.
Yeah, it's never big
That's
enough.
the truth.
Yeah,
Hey,
I envy
where's
the guys
Jessica?
with 35 by 35 foot shops. I don't know how you
Right.
cope with that much space.
I don't know if you should envy them or not. I'm trying to build one, and when you get the prices, you won't envy them.
Right. Well, it's one of Murphy's laws that the amount of stuff you have fills the amount of space, available space. So
Murphy's Law is build it twice as big as what you think you need.
yep.
Half the size you need.
That'd
The
be
more
good.
you build, the more you
And then
buy.
it won't be big enough.
Exactly. It'll never be big enough.
Yeah, I think
And
you
then
could
you
hold
add
an
on to it.
airplane hangar and you'd want more room.
All right. Well, everybody, give Matt a round of applause. Good demo.
Great job, Matt.
Thanks,
Thank you
Matt.
very
Good job,
much.
Matt.
I hope that was entertaining and I hope it
Good job.
inspires people.
Super job. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd like to
All
show
right, so
one
let's go
article.
back and
Play with it.
let's go back and do a little. We'll go back and do a little bit of a gallery here, and then we'll span back to Eddie here. And
Dane, could I just show one? Dane, could I just show one piece?
Yeah. Let's go.
This is an ornament that's domed, like Eddie was talking about. That's domed, and you cut arcs in there.
Perfect.
Cool. Like it. And you do that on your jig, right?
Yeah,
Yep. Spot on.
but the dome and the spacing and the depth of cut are real critical. So it's got to be a uniform dome all the way around. Otherwise, you get high and low spots, but it shows up real quick. But anyway, I just thought I'd show that. Nice job, super job. You're fearless.
All right, let's go to, let's see, Doug.
Well, howdy.
Doug.
Oh, it's good to see you all tonight. I was a little bit late, but I'm here. This week I was doing some other things, but I've had a little piece of ingrain pear sitting around right under my feet. It was really bugging me. So I just picked it up the other day and figured I'd go ahead and turn a little ingrain bowl. And this is indeed little. It's 3 inches in diameter, 1.5 inches tall, ingrain. If you've done anything with pear, you know how tight pear is. This came out just as smooth and as slick as it can be. Got my signature on the bottom there, all the information. Finished with Axe abrasive paste and wax, and it just came out really, really nice. Been doing a lot of these small bowls, and I'm seeing a lot more being done out there. So, I'm just going to keep going with them for a while.
Looks good, sir.
Very
Thank
nice.
you very much.
On.
Thank you. That's it for me this week.
All right, glad you made it in, Doug.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to Tim. He says he's got his pen done.
Yeah, I actually put it in the chat, and unfortunately I've disconnected my phone because I'm going to have to drop off here. But I did drop a picture into the chat a little bit ago.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can, here we go. Okay. Let me do.
Got to be careful what you put in chat. I'll catch it and I'll come right to it.
Yeah, well, you'll have this, whatever.
Your volume is real low.
I've been playing with
He's getting
audio
ready
a
to
little
drop
bit
off.
here, so that's probably why. There you go. You see that now?
Cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Great.
And this wood behind it here is that coffee tree burl.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I know it's sideways. So,
Pretty, looks good.
yeah. So, yeah, thanks for coming back. I'm going to have to drop off here, but good night, everybody. And thank you.
Okay. Right on.
See you next week, Tim.
See you next week.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Good
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
All right.
Night.
Let's go see if Heather's still available. Hey, Heather.
Heather.
There she
Hello.
is.
Hi.
She's not in the
Great
closet.
time.
Yeah, I'm just on break. I finally got time to catch you guys. So I was watching one of Cade's old videos on Worldwide Woodturners, and I watched him make hair sticks. Now these are just made of oak. They're not the maple that he made them out of, but I used the red and the yellow dye on them. And there's my hair sticks. So they turned out pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Did you wear those to work tonight?
No, I didn't.
Hey, Heather.
I didn't want to have to put my hair back up.
Heather, something that's a good accompaniment to go with the hair sticks. So like what I do is I do them in sets of 3. And then I also make a turned capped case that you can put them in, and that way they're all stored nice and neat in the lady's purse.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, that would work.
I've got pictures online of it. If you can search it out.
Okay, I might have to look them up.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Good idea.
I've also been making a bowl the past 2 weeks.
Oh, that's nice.
Eyeball in the middle.
Yeah, there's
Super
9.
nice. Very nice.
I've been seeing these show up on Facebook. This is so cool, Heather.
Yeah,
That's nice, Heather. Looks pretty.
I did the bottom side too.
Oh, beautiful.
That's
Heather.
beautiful.
Yeah, and
You
that's
say
why
you have
I
a
need the
beading
beading
tool?
tools. Pardon?
Oh, you're still doing it the hard way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's not the hard way. It's a parting tool that I kind of revamped into a beading tool.
Right.
It's still not the
Right on.
best, but it works.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks?
Oh, that's
Pardon?
beautiful.
Did you say 2 weeks?
Yeah, it took about 2 weeks on and off.
My lord.
How are you?
I still work full time too, so.
How are you coloring these? What's the coloring you're using?
They are Ohuhu markers. Ohuhu is the brand on Amazon.
Okay, is it ink? Is it what is it?
It's an ink, an alcohol-based ink.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were
What kind of wood?
fairly. It's poplar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a really nice pattern.
You can see the darker shade of the grain of the wood through here, and a little bit here. It didn't turn out too bad, I think.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Nice.
That is beautiful.
I think it turned out great.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
They do too.
and the eye looks evil one way and friendly the other.
Yes.
Brenda might see an animal in that.
That is great.
The all-seeing eye, like on a dollar bill.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Did you come up with a pattern yourself, or did you see a pattern like that?
I saw one similar, but it had extra markings on the inside here. So I didn't have room for that because my beading tool is not narrow enough to get all the segments in that I needed. So I just shrunk the pattern a little bit and gave it a few different colors. So, yeah.
It's kind of hard to improve it, so I like
Very good.
the plain wood at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks segmented.
Yeah.
Very
Fantastic
nice.
piece of work, Heather. A fantastic
Thank you.
piece of work.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to Terry.
Yeah, I'm here. You there?
Got you.
Good, you got me. Well, as we were talking a couple of weeks ago, I didn't get on last week, was kind of busy.
but I had come across some pecan and I was doing some green turning of pecan. And last Friday or Thursday, I decided to make a platter with it because we had a meeting on Saturday at our club. I took this platter in to the club at 8 o'clock in the morning and it was completely flat. And we were all looking at it and everybody's looking at it. It doesn't have any finish on it. Everybody was looking at it. And I set it on the table and we actually watched it move during the 4 hours that we were at the meeting. And I don't know if you can see any of this.
Oh, yeah.
See it now.
Yeah, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
it all happened in 4 hours when we were at the meeting.
That's
this
art
thing
now.
It's really, it
That's
really
cool.
got going. So it was pretty funny. But anyway, I kept playing with the pecan a little bit, trying to see what I could do with it. And this is another piece I made out of it, green end grain. So the way it's done, it doesn't really matter. And you can see, I just got it beside the light and you can see how thin it is. The light's coming through it. And it's a piece by being end grain. I don't care if it moves.
Yep.
And it's not noticeable and it doesn't move as much on the end grain. So I have quite a bit of it. So I went back to the lathe and I started 4 of these.
Oh my God.
About 11 inches across. And like I say, I don't care how it moves with the natural edge. It's a side grain, but with the natural edge, it's not going to make any difference how it moves. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the base with it. I'm going to put it on a pedestal. I'm trying to use up the wood and I made 4 of those like that. There's no finish on it. It's just standing sealer. And then I decided I would make a globe out of it. Well, it's not really a globe anymore. After it decided to move, it's more like an egg. So I guess it's an egg globe. And here it is. And I put it on a little base. And let me see if I can do a little finagling here. There's one switch. And there's the other one.
Ooh.
Oh my.
It's about 4.5 inches in diameter, and it was round actually. It's not anymore. It's like an inch longer. It grew that away.
That looks
It was pretty neat though. It came out kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Wow.
going along with that. I got one more piece today. I went out and decided I would try a piece of mesquite. My old favorite mesquite. It don't move around on me much. This is an end grain piece. No, it's not. It's a side grain piece. I went straight through the center. This is the whole log, and I went straight to it. It's actually one of Bob Birdhouse tops. The big
Yes,
one.
gorgeous.
It's,
Put a buzzard under that thing.
it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. It come out pretty nice. It doesn't have any finish on it either. It does have a little. I put 1 coat of tongue oil on it and haven't done anything with it. It's not dry yet. I did it this morning. So tomorrow I'll work some more on it. But it came out kind of nice. I thought it had a lot of character.
Yeah.
And it's out of a kind of design followed out of one of those books that I bought a couple weeks ago. So that pretty well covers it. And I want to thank everybody for everything they do and let somebody else have the floor.
Hey, right on,
Thank you,
Terry.
Terry.
Good to see you
Thanks,
tonight.
Terry.
Beautiful work.
great pieces, Jerry.
All right, let's
you.
go. Let's go across the pond to our good buddy Paul. Hey, Paul.
Evening or morning.
Yeah, right. Morning for you, huh?
Got a few things to show you actually. Got this one, which I made at the weekend. It's a little box made out of some sort of rosewood. I'm not exactly sure which. But that's a low temperature pewter inlays in the top.
Very nice.
This was just a push fit box.
Nice.
That looks like a good demo to me.
Could be. Yeah, it was a demo actually. I did it in the weekend. So yeah, possibly. And then I've got these. Been playing with paints again. This is
Oh my.
Montana
That's
marbling
pretty.
paint. It's a blue base with I've got black, gold, and white marbling on top of that.
Very nice.
Yes. Cool, Bob. Paul.
Natural wood on the back.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Man, that's nice, Paul.
Paul,
Looks pretty.
can you,
Oh,
can you
Paul, a
feel
quick
that?
question, Paul. When you put the pewter in, are you pouring it in?
Not with that one, no. I use that like a solder stick. I use a soldering iron and melt it into a groove.
Okay. And
So,
it,
some of it I do cast by pouring, yes, but not that one.
okay. And in the groove, okay. So you basically are melting it in place then, but you're still melting it in
Yeah.
place.
Mhm.
Are you undercutting it or is it just straight up and down?
No, just straight up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, you can dovetail the slot a little if you want to, but if you melt it that way, then or anyway, it contracts a little anyway, so it's going to grip the inner circle of the hole anyway. So I don't think it's going to fall out.
Okay.
A couple of other ones here, quick one. These are just little tea light holders with candles in. Again, marbling paint. This one's white with black on it, and I've got the opposite here, a black one with white and gold on it.
Wow.
Well, I just see all sorts of demos there.
Yeah, but yeah, those are out of the can.
We've been talking, Bob. We've been talking.
Montana marbling paints.
Nice.
Very nice. They look great.
Yeah. Look good, Paul.
Sounds to me like Bob. Sounds to me like Bob wants to do another demo.
That's what it sounded like, really.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you, Paul. Beautiful work, sir.
All right, let's go. There he is, Birdhouse Bob.
Hey, how's
And
everybody doing?
and I do have him scheduled for an upcoming demo
Got a
soon.
little,
So
All right.
yeah, we got a little while.
Calabash bowl that I did.
Oh, my.
And
Look at
see what kind of
that.
animals you can find in there, Brenda.
Oh, yeah.
Footprint.
Look like a bunch of dinosaurs.
It's a sea serpent.
Yep.
Yeah,
A mushroom and
the blob. Got a couple eyeballs on the front. A sea amoeba.
See it back.
You got two catfish
Worm.
mate.
Is it aluminum bat or a wooden bat? And there was a mention on the chat about a spindle lock for a Powermatic. And my wife decided that she needed to have new knobs on all the kitchen cabinets for some reason.
So you got new kitchen cabinets.
Because she could.
And so being the good wood turner that I am, I thought, well, I'll just save all the old knobs and I'll use them for something. So I took one and I put a 1-inch magnet on it. Just took the screw, this magnet had a hole. I mean, you could use one and just glue it on there. And I put it on the end of the little thing you push in for the lock.
The button. Push
And it
button.
just sits there. And then when you push it all the way in, the magnet's a little bit bigger than that post. And so it'll stick on there and I just tilt it when I'll take it off and I just leave it sitting on that post all the time. Works real well.
That's a fantastic idea, Bob.
And it's not real complicated. I was able to design it.
you're a genius.
You are. You're.
And if anybody needs a kitchen knob, I've got plenty.
I'll take 5.
Okay,
This-
I
this-
got that
this-
many.
There's 1,000 reuses for those I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Right.
this, with the magnet on it, it just sits
Magnets
on
are
there all the
great.
time when I'm turning, and when I want to stop it, I just push it in, and it holds it in, and it just give it a little tilt and it comes back
Yeah,
out.
I've got a spare inch and an H wide magnet and it fits. And it's got a hole in the middle of it. So you know what I'm doing this week.
Yeah, this one has a hole in the middle, and I
Yep.
just used the screw from the knob and just ground it off on my grinder, so this surface is flat.
That's an outstanding idea, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why we don't throw stuff away.
That's right.
I don't know why
Exactly.
Powermatic couldn't have thought of that.
Right?
That's all I've
Oh,
got.
Lord. All
Maybe
right,
with
thank
maybe
you.
there
Bob,
was
beautiful
maybe
work.
there was no money in it.
And if you'd like to do something like that, you don't know where to get the you don't know where to get the magnet, K and J magnet, K and J has those type of magnets and any other kind of magnet you want to have. Because I loaded my shop with those little hooks
think
with
I
the
got mine
magnet
off
and all.
I think I
Everywhere.
got mine off of wish.com and it's like $1 for a dozen of them. Yeah, it wasn't much.
How do you argue with that?
Steven.
Huh?
Oh, my.
Hi, Stephen. Welcome.
How you doing? Hello, everyone. I
Cool.
made it.
Good.
Turned the
Oh, that's
stool.
nice.
At that.
Tell us about it.
It's about 3-inch poplar. I carved my wife's business name in the front here, with Fairy God Spinner. And
Very
these are spalted fogwood. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it really looked pretty.
Beautiful.
It sure does.
Yes, I love those legs.
Sure does.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's like soft maple.
So it's about 16 inches high. It's 9 1/4 inches in diameter.
Beautiful.
It was fun making something
The
different.
top
than-
piece is a solid piece?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
That looks really good.
Pretty, Stephen.
Like, I don't think you can see it. I got some
Yeah.
on the bottom here. I haven't finished the bottom yet.
Looks very nice.
Wow.
There you go. That's it.
Love it.
Right on.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Did you hand carve
All right.
the saying on the side?
Yes. Yeah.
Did a good
Yeah.
job.
The carving knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Nice touch to it. All right, let's go to Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hi, guys. I got in a little late, but I did catch most of Matt's demo. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So next week I was gonna do a chainsaw demo, but my backyard is like a swamp because we got a lot of snow again. And so I'm gonna come up with a different demo. So I'm gonna give you a teaser. I made this on Mr. Duxbury's jig. So we're gonna make some jewelry next week because I can't get outside and do the chainsaw demo. So that's the one I made today. This is another practice piece that I'm going to show you how to use Mr. Duxbury's jig. So just a little teaser for next week, guys.
Oh, man.
Good deal.
Looks good.
I like this.
That's all I got.
Julie, we have a
such
gallery.
tease, Scott.
I am.
We have a gallery
All right.
challenge on jewelry in December. So that'd be interesting. See what we can do.
It would be.
Definitely. All right. Hey, Joaquin, you
Hey.
made it.
Let's see. All right, there you go. All right. Well, I've got a bowl full of eggs. I've been turning eggs.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
I looked at it a while ago and I pulled up this egg and there's a bunch of sawdust down here. And I got to looking at this mesquite one and it has some holes in it. I guess I still got some worms
Yeah, you got a friend in there.
in the mesquite.
It's about ready to hatch. That's what it is.
That one might be getting ready to hatch.
Oh, my goodness.
Find that thing or put it in lacquer thinner or something. And but that's my wife's eggs. And so I'm going to share a jig with you. My first mentor, my first Easter, when I turned eggs, this, I start turning this way and part of it off here, and I got a little neb left there. To get this off, got this 1.5 inch pipe, PVC pipe. Is that getting washed out?
There you go, right there.
Okay, and it's got 8 holes drilled in it, and on the band sliced to each hole, so it's like expansion. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got a 1 inch cap with a hole drilled in it that goes in the back of it that gives it reinforcement when you chuck it, but the hole in it is for when you put this point in there, it centers it up, and then I got a clamp, a hose clamp that tightens down on it, and you can just sand this on and you're done with it,
Well, look at you.
Nice jig. I like that.
using it for 10 years, you know. That's cool.
Dave
Meeting
Rhodes,
is
we
full
need
of
to get a sketch of that.
geniuses.
Huh? So you,
Dave Rhodes, we need to get a sketch of that on a website, the world's greatest wood turning website. That's got to be added.
Absolutely.
well, I can do a sketch of it.
I like that. That's kind of neat.
Very cool.
It is so cool, so quick, so fast, you know.
What is the end piece then, you said?
Do what?
Cap.
Square, the cap piece.
Oh, that's a 1-inch PVC cap. Now they may not be the size, but also it's grooved here where this clamp goes. I got 2 grooves where the clamp fits.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Sure is washed out on mine.
Yeah, you cut the grooves, right?
Yes, turn the grooves in there.
How do you hold it? Where's the chuck go?
It goes right there.
Okay. And that's a 1-inch, inch and a half.
It's a half pipe with a 1-inch cap, and you may have to cut today's. I don't think today's fit in there as well.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But it's I've had it for 10 years, still using it.
Yeah. That's a good jig. I like it.
It's really neat.
Can you hold it up one time and let me take a picture of it?
No, knowing you, Joaquin, I bet you already have the engineering diagrams for it.
Well,
I bet you
All
can
right,
post
thanks.
them on the
Yep,
website.
got it. Yep.
I'm washed out here. Is it washed out on y'all's end?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe
Expected.
tilt it a little bit so it's not directly on into the light.
You said that's a 1-inch pipe?
There you go, right there.
Yeah, right there. Just hold it there a minute.
And it's 1-inch cap inside. My wife got home, so the dogs are going crazy.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So like, this is the 1-inch cap. And I drilled a hole in the center of it, so you know, this small point will center up every time.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I can most definitely take pictures with it and add comments and stuff and send it in. Because it's really cool, really fast. So I had a friend who gave me this resin with a burl in it. And I've had it for about 5 years, wondering what I was going to do with it. And so I decided the other day, go. And I turned the egg out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And that's the burl. And then the resin.
Wow.
Need an egg cup for it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. They come out really nice. Wife really liked that. And then I've always wanted to make a box out of an egg. There's a piece of mesquite. And
How about that?
that's about
Wow.
Made a egg cup for it.
Nice.
Then is James Duxbury on here still? Is he here tonight? I want to tell him this is the closest I'll ever get to a kaleidoscope. This is a kaleidoscope egg.
Nice job.
So you
Beautiful.
so you can where's it at? Here's the kit. Get them from Craft Supply. They it's got all the little rocks in this end. It's got the 3 mirrors inside there. I don't think y'all can see anything.
Yeah, we see.
Yeah, that came through.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you drill a hole in the egg and you got bushings, put them on a mandrel, turn the egg, and end up with a little kaleidoscope. This is made out of Texas ebony.
Very nice.
Yeah, kids. love it.
Great.
Gorgeous.
And so my last thing here. This egg's pretty important to me. It means a lot to me. Last year on Cindy's Bender Showcase, we had an egg challenge. And we had even turning, we was 8 of us that turned eggs on there, 15 minutes. And this was my show and tell. And, you know, it was Todd Raines, Steve and Joe and John Jordan and all. And John Jordan awarded me, what do you call it? Honorable Dimension. And sent me his video. So this egg was really important just because of him, you know. And it's just
Beautiful egg.
Yeah. What do you call it? Embellishment,
Yeah,
Yep.
gorgeous.
basket weaving, or whatever it is. But anyway. And
Basket illusion.
yeah, that's what it is. Just tried it out, and just because we was having that challenge and showed it show and tell, and ended up with John Jordan's video with it.
Cool.
That's all I got tonight.
Cool.
Super.
Super,
Right
great
on,
stuff.
thank you.
I'll get something going on this jig though.
We know you will, sir. We know you will.
Thank you.
It'll be available on the world's greatest wood turning website.
Staying in Texas, let's go to Bob.
Yeah, this is the demo I was going to do tonight. Since Heather brought hers out, I thought I would go ahead and show it. But it's a basket illusion.
Wow.
Very nice.
How
Love
in the
the
world did you
detail.
do the bottom?
Beautiful.
Yeah, inside and out. It's going goes
Yes.
inside of it too.
How many hours you got in that thing?
I've got like 5 days.
I was gonna say, the real question is how are you gonna do that in a 1 hour demo?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's a video. So that's how I'm going to do it. Cut it down. But
I mean, how'd you do the inside, Bob?
well, it's 2 pieces. It's 2 bowls put together.
Okay.
So you turn one bowl and you finish the bottom, finish all that inside of it, and then you turn another bowl and set it on top of it and glue it on here
Wow.
till they center up. But
You'd never know.
Nope.
no, but it turned out good. This was a David Nittman design. He had a design like this, and I thought it was real pretty. So I did it. It's not exactly the same, but the design is pretty much
Well, it's your design.
That's right. It's my design.
It's gorgeous.
Well, thanks.
It
Yep,
is.
I think it turned out real well.
Sit there.
Yeah. But anyway, I do have a demo on that coming up. So as soon as my internet gets to working, we'll. It actually started working after Matt started his. It had to stop. So maybe next week or next time.
I look
Looks
forward
good,
to seeing
sir.
it, Bob.
Thanks.
We'll get it figured out, no worries. And all right, let's go to John Weber. John, can you turn your video on?
John, you have to talk to us, sir. There we go.
You say John Weber?
Yep.
Okay, that's me. You that all right?
You're on.
We got you.
Oh,
Yep.
look at that.
The Hollow box elder.
Box elder, yes.
Yeah,
Very pretty.
It was kind of cracked up, so I ended up putting some epoxy to see. I really can't see this here. I put epoxy in the can't do it. The cracks. So I made red epoxy. So it came out kind of cool.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
Nice.
And I got this little. I got a little box. The light is not real good. That's a little bit better.
It's good right there.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, hadn't been off in a while. Holy smokes.
A little fairy dust in it.
Yeah, so I haven't taken it off in like, a couple weeks, so this is bad. So I'm going to finish dry a little bit.
Cute.
So anyways, it is a box. So anyways, that's what I got.
Believe you.
Nice job.
All right.
Very nice,
Sharon.
John.
Nice piece on the lathe there too.
All right.
Oh,
Ready?
oh,
Nice.
Well, it's me.
We're back.
Okay. Good gallery tonight, folks. Excellent demonstration by Matt Harber. And that was one of those brain twisters. You can get out and play with it. If you were looking at it like I was looking at it, he had it on a convex. All right. Then you flip around and put it back on a glue block and do it as a concave to lighten up the weight. And then you change the design on both sides, play with color dyes and stains a little bit. And you see that basket weave that we saw from several members tonight? That can go on there, and it could be two-sided. I'm just thinking the holidays are ready. We're just shortly up to Easter, and it's a time to give something to the little ones. You can make these, put a cord on them, they put around their neck, they have fun with them, and it's something you made for them. And it's a simple little great project. And it makes you develop skills. And that's what we're trying to do here. We always share these ideas and tips and tricks and all. Just like Birdhouse Bob showed us with that magnet that helped Matt Harber out on his deal because it's got the same length. So we sharing that stuff. Sharing it's very important to us. If you've got something like Joaquin showed us that jig for the egg, you can detail it, take photographs of it, and send it onto our website. Our master webmaster, Dave Rhodes, will add that to the world's finest wood turning website. It's not bragging, that's the truth. And that's where we're looking for you. Now, if you have photographs of your work you'd like to share with us to go in the gallery, the gallery on a website, the promos we produce and the newsletter I produce, all you have to do is drop it on Facebook. You can drop it on Facebook on the Worldwide Woodturners page, and we'll get it. It's going to be of good quality, and you share it with the entire world. That's important to us. Now, earlier this evening, we were talking about club stickers, and we had a resounding yes, pardon me, from a impromptu poll we threw up earlier this evening. I don't think we had a no on the entire thing. And what it means is we're going to go ahead now and order the stickers. And it will be 3.5 by 3.5. I can look my notes here. 3.5 by 3.5. They come on in roll stock. And the primary deal is this: you can order 10 stickers. We will take your order, mail you 10 stickers. You have to give us $5. That's it. There's no extra postage, no extra handling, anything else. This is being financed by members, and we're gonna order 1,000 stickers. So we're gonna cover the first 100 members easily, but that's not enough. So we're gonna expand it a little bit after that. But first, we got to see how sales go because this is being financed by not the club because we don't have any money. What we're going to do is it looks like we'll have it done. Now, if it goes off really well and you want to get some extras to take to a symposium or workshop or whatever, we'll work with you on that. We will, because it's important for you to invite your friends. I mean, we had Ann, a couple other folks pop in here tonight and join us. And they were all members of clubs that met other members of clubs who belong to this club. And we want you to do the same thing. You go to the meeting, tell them about us, worldwidewoodturners.org. And if you just type Worldwide Woodturners into the search, boom, we're going to be there. And that's a great place for all kinds of tips and hints. And if you want to see back issues of the chat there, you want to see excerpts from the videos on different projects, it's there. You want to get tips, hints, tricks, and all that, it's there. I don't know of, maybe you do, but I don't know if anybody else has got that kind of intensity on their website right now, because this entire project is put together by you, our membership. Thank you so much for being there. You've been there since we cranked out with number 1. We hope you'll be back for the rest of them. If you have anything special tonight, oh, wait, Patrick says, how will we pay for them? We'll have that worked out by the time we release it, Patrick. The thing is, I can't run it through my business, but we're going to find a way to get around that. But we have some, we were working on this. If you want to be involved in the development of this, email me at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. That's worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. That's the email I will receive from club emails, and I'll work with you. We need you in there. We want, this is not a thing where it's not Dane and I's project. It's our project. So we want to see it done. Got any questions, comments, problems? Let's go. Now I unplug at 9 p.m. Central Time. But the program continues. And we heard this evening that one of the things that continued and had a problem with was the threading on the spindle. Gentleman fixed it. With your help, we got to it. So the chat will continue on as light as it needs to stick up or stay up. So that's it. Questions, comments, anything? Speak, say what? Don't tell me you're a quiet wood turner. That's
I got something
impossible.
I'll share, Captain.
Where is that, Dean Grimes?
It is.
There he is.
Yeah, I've been a little quiet lately. Hadn't had that much energy, but we're starting to get back there, and I got back out in the shop, turned a few crosses, but I thought I would share this piece. And by the way, just a great demo tonight. This is a little piece I made.
Nice.
Some of these for the family a couple of years ago. And I tell you what, you want to get in real trouble, try to pry that out of the hands of one of my daughters. You know, it's fairly simple. Fairly simple, but the same basis is what Matt was showing tonight. So you can go from as simple as this to really some awesome designs with those things. And this is just, you know, a few beads on it and a leather piece of leather to make a necklace. And like I say, you're putting your life in your hand if you try to take that from one of those girls.
They love it. Dean, will you keep that up there a minute? Show the piece.
Sure will.
Yeah. So the document I put in my meeting documentation, one of the examples is very similar to this piece. So it'll show you, and you can do this. You don't need the Joyner jig and to do it. You can do it with, you know, with Jim Duxbury's jig. So, but you see the big dimple where the cord's tied through. That's a very attractive thing. People like that a lot. So all you need to do is have a sort of big dimple where the cord goes through, and then a couple of off center slices on it, like those black bits he's got on there. And it's simple. It's interesting. People don't know how you did it, and they love it. I'm with you. I'm with you, Dean. You can't pry it out of the hands of the people who get them.
Yeah, and it takes no time to do a piece like this. I mean,
What's the back of it look like?
It's just plain.
Okay. Nice.
But it's another canvas. Remember, there's no limits.
Yep. And if you want to, you know, you got somebody who's into butterflies, you put a few small butterfly stickers on there and poly over top, you're good to go.
Exactly.
Nice.
Stay tuned next week, because what he's showing, there'll be one of them possibly made.
I'm looking forward to it.
By who?
Right
By
on.
Charlie?
No, by Scott.
By Billy,
Oh,
by
Scott.
Scott,
Okay.
by Jim, by, you know, I may make one. This is I had a lot of fun getting prepped
I
for
tell
this.
you what, this
Well,
thing's a
what Scott
blast.
is referencing is his demo.
They are fun and they're enjoyable. And what we do our turning for is a share. That's a great share toy.
It's going to be in the demo next week, so you'll get to see Mr. Duxbury's jig do that same thing.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dean. Hope you're feeling better, bud.
Hey man, I tell you what, it's just so awesome to see shavings flying past you, you know. Miss that.
How'd your craft show go?
It went very well. You know, you never do as good in the spring as you do in the fall. So I was really pleasantly surprised by how well we did this weekend.
I've had several friends of mine have done shows, art shows and craft shows in the last 2 weeks and have said the same thing, that people are spending money. That they've
Yeah,
done
no,
very
I
well.
was shocked. I would have been happy
That's
if
good.
I did half as much as I did.
Wow.
That's good to know. All right, we got a late entry here. Let's go see Randy Smith. Hey, Randy.
What you got, Andy?
I just ordered some things from Cindy Droza, and on a whim, let me unplug it. I ordered a small light that she sells. It has magnets on the back, and it will stick to any iron tool rest. You can put it right underneath the tool rest when you're making a bowl, and it is quite bright. So
It is.
so
Wow.
it is quite bright.
That's a lot of light.
Yes, it does produce a lot of light. You can't see it, it washes out everything. But if you want to play the evil guy, but I just got it today, and it is very nice. It has two little tiny magnets on the back, and will stick to almost any tool or tool rest. So.
Yeah, if you guys want to switch over to me real quick, I'll show you what it looks like on my tool rest. I love mine. I love mine.
I was going to share what mine and Cade's look like. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me cut
ahead,
here.
Matt.
So it's sitting right here. It's right here. So you can see how much light that thing's putting out. And it's great for like if you're hollowing or you're inside something, and it's really it's just wonderful. So, and that's, I mean,
cool.
That's mine here. So, and it just, it'll stick right in the bottom of the tool rest, and it's out of the way of your tools. It's wonderful. I love mine.
Yeah.
The only thing is the switch is a little wonky. I had to replace my switch, but that was just like a couple of bucks, and you just, you open it up and make sure it's not plugged in.
Cool. All right, and then so staying with the light thing here. So I finally broke over and got one of Cade's lights that he uses. So it's a light bar, LED, wireless, and then it's remote control, and you can adjust the brightness.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Can you change the color on it?
Nope. You can set it. You got timers that you can put it on. So very cool.
Dane,
That's
Dane,
awesome.
where'd you get that?
Control.
Where'd you get that light from?
It's on our website already, but I got it from Amazon. It's $28 for two of them.
That's a good deal.
That's not bad.
Give me a minute here, and I'll put the link here in the chat real quick.
All right.
Very cool.
But yeah,
we caused a run on it.
Very pleased.
We put a run on that product a couple of years ago when Cade originally showed it to us. It was a really nice idea, and Matt said something a little while ago about the LED lighting in the shop. If you haven't tried the LED lighting, think about this. I can buy a 4-foot strip, two LEDs with a plug and a switch on it. The entire package, the lights and everything, costs less than 2 T12 fluorescent light bulbs cost at Home Depot. Wow. That's right. I bought the entire fixture, rigged up, ready to go, for the cost of just 2 light bulbs. And you will never, ever regret that purchase. It is fantastic. I mean, my wife's studio is right over there, and she's got 6 of them hanging down from the ceilings, and she could probably do brain surgery. In fact, she's offered to do that for me, but
they're wonderful. And you don't have to worry about breaking the big light bulbs, Eddie.
No, they don't. And trust me, I've dropped mine. But they're very handy. So, but that's an Amazon trick. And if you go to Amazon, you'll find them in packs of 2 singles, 2 6s, 8s, whatever. You know how they do it. If it can be sold, they'll probably try to sell it. Well, we're coming up after 9 o'clock here on a Wednesday evening. And once again, and I have to thank you for being a part of this club. We will continue on. Some of us are going to bug out for a little while, but feel free to hang around and talk with your friends, share ideas, share knowledge, and solve problems. That's why we get together every Wednesday evening on a tailgate, telling lies about wood turning. I'll see all of you next week. Well, take care. And like Safety Sue says, be safe. And Donald says, save the chat.
Very cool. Thanks, Eddie.
Good meeting.
I just saved
All-
my chat.
Good meeting.
Hey, Dane.
Yeah.
Dane, with me doing the demo tonight instead of April 12th, like I mistakenly unscheduled myself and then rescheduled myself for, am
Yeah,
I still
right.
am I still on the schedule for April 12th?
No, unless you want to be.
Well, I don't know. I'll come up with something if you say yes. So
Okay, let's go with yes then, since it's so hard.
all right. Well, if
Getting
you've got
folks
somebody
in.
else to take the slot, then go ahead. But I'll try to come up with
Okay.
something by then.
I'm gonna try and get Bob scheduled for the 12th. Hopefully he's got his internet connection issue figured out between now and then. But I'll let you know.
Okay. Outstanding. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry about the misunderstanding earlier.
Oh no worries. Actually,
Not the
it
first
worked
time
out,
it's
so-
happened.
Yeah, well, it worked out in the end because due to technical difficulties. So it's cool.
Yeah,
It's all good. Comes out in the wash, I guess.
yeah, for sure.